Dude, what is up, friends? Hold on, I'm gonna fix my mic real quick because I just noticed the little filter is off. Let me see here. Make sure everything's working. Boom. Benji, welcome. Chat, welcome. We got episode 4. Super pumped for this one because obviously we all know who it is. We do have Katie Cat coming in. So for the next 90 minutes, we're gonna get down and loose, get to know Katie Cat. I feel like I'm being a little spoiled on this one because it's a Chicago homie. Simply put, so I want to just get down to business, learn Katie Cat, get to know her community a little bit, and then I want to talk a little bit about Shy, see what our commonalities are. So I'm going to switch over here. I'm going to put both of us on. Katie, you can unmute the mic. There she is. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How's it going?
Beautiful. So here she is, the lovely Katie Cat, a Chi-Town local, one of my favorites. I'm pumped. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to be here.
You did call it out, so we did kind of do like a real quick, hey, this is what we're kind of expecting on channel points, yada, yada, yada. And then you did make a mention real quick. You did say Rudy was going to be in, and Rudy is in right off the bat.
Yep, I see Rudy. Hi, Rudy.
Rudy doesn't miss a beat. What is up, buddy? Bones, thank you for the sub. Katie, what do we start? What are you drinking?
So I have these left over. This is, I think, finally my last one. These aren't great. I have like the White Claw iced tea lemon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love them, but they're left at my place, so it is what it is at this point, right? I'm gonna drink what's here. I'm not gonna waste alcohol.
I gotta fix your picture just a little bit here.
Okay.
I'm gonna recenter you. All right. What are we, so going outside of that, what are you shooting? That's more important.
That is, of course. So we got some Espolón, got some tequila, of course. Love some tequila always. So we got a little bit of both.
Wagon with me.
Absolutely. I'm not as fancy as you, though. I can't say I'm as fancy.
Well, I'm only fake fancy. I'm only fancy in front of this. Are you kidding me? I'm not
I mean, pretty
always
sure.
drinking Class A Azul. I wish.
I know
If,
that'd
when
be.
I get like the official sponsor of Clase Azul, then I'm in. But until then, we're still waiting. Beowulf, welcome. I'm pumped to have Kitty Cat's Corner in here and
Yeah.
hanging out with the gaming wire, because the one thing that I have pointed out about you is you are awesome at the just chatting. And that's what like caught my eye. I was like, wait, so backing up real quick,
Hmm.
when I first stumbled into your stream, I was still new to Twitch. I did
Hmm.
not know that a just chatting realm existed.
Hmm.
So here I am kind of just going through, and you're dude, you hop on and you just get the chat room talking, and you're very chill at it. And the one thing that I do absolutely respect is you read every single comment.
I do. I really try hard. I mean, I mention this always in my chats, right? Where if I miss something, I do always apologize because there's those rare occasions where it's going just too fast for my eyes to try to catch up on.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always say just repeat it. If I didn't see it, I never ever have tried to ignore anyone ever, unless it's something where I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna ignore that because that was just a
Dumbass
interesting
comment.
comment. Yes, it's a comment that doesn't need to be replied to. But if it's like a hey, how's it going? Like, hey, how are you? You know, so always been trying to be someone who wants to like say hi to everyone,
Mm-hmm.
respond to everyone. If I miss something that someone says, it's never intentional, and I always feel terrible when they're like, you didn't see what I said. I'm like, say it again. I'm sorry.
I am atrocious at reading comments. I'll be the first to admit it. I have people all the time, especially when I first started, like, yo, you need to fucking catch up. Because I'd be like 10 minutes behind. The first time I did like a true just chatting, I actually did it with
Mhm.
Jess, Mrs. Spanish, sorry, Mrs.
Mhm.
Spanish, where I just wanted to introduce her to the Twitch community. And I was so far and so overwhelmed with the comments, because I think that was like the first time that I broke into like the 50s. I
Mhm.
was so overwhelmed by comments. I was legit a 15-minute delay, like, and just getting to people's. I was getting text messages. Like, "You gonna acknowledge me? Like, what's going on?" I'm like, really?
Don't ignore, right?
First of
I
all, you're gonna
know.
jump into my Twitch and then you're gonna text me? Like, I'm honored, but I'm pretty bad at that sense. But so that's actually a really good segue to just get things kicked off. I'm actually trying to clear my screen. I have so much shit open on my screen, and I'm slightly flustered, but I do want to use this. This is going to be a perfect segue just to get into like the quick intro. You
Mhm.
said it to me briefly, and I did not recognize this. You weren't previously a gamer, and you
Mhm.
started Twitch about 2 years ago.
Right.
How did you get it? If you weren't a gamer, how did you get into Twitch?
So this was like a time when I was just like, getting bored. Like I like to do lots of different things. So, I do everything from like running, working out, puzzles, walking my dog, doing, just a
That's a
variety of
great
different
humble brag.
things. So, I like to do lots of different activities, maybe to like a point where I do too much sometimes, but I just wanted to try something different again. So I did have a friend who recommended me trying to like play games, and then he also had mentioned the time he was like, you know what, you have a really good personality like to go on to Twitch. I was like, I don't know what that is. And so like that's kind of was like I was like I have no clue what that is, but maybe, I don't know. And so I started playing games a little bit, really enjoyed it, and I was like, well, maybe we'll try this then. And so that was kind of my segue into it. It was just like a quick like kind of half comment of like, hey, why don't you play games? Like maybe. Like why don't you stream it? Well, maybe I guess I could try that. And so it was kind of like borrow different pieces from different people who had, old gaming setups, and over time just kind of built up my own piece here. And so I started off as a just gaming streamer. I was only playing games, and that's how I started. And I didn't really start that just chatting probably until like this year, probably at some point. It was like later this year is when I kind of started doing that just chatting a little bit more, and slowly, as like that community kind of built and how I realized more and more people wanted to talk, I was constantly pausing my game to try to talk to everyone, respond to everyone's comments, because like that I don't like to ignore anyone when they, are kind of commenting. So I
Mm-hmm.
realized like we need some time to talk before we start our day.
For sure. What games did you start out playing?
So my first game I started out playing was the BioShock series. So I went
Okay,
right away
good
into the
series.
BioShock series, a great series, and then went in from that to playing the Witcher series. I played one, two, and three. One was rough, two was a little better, and three was fantastic. So I mean, I kind of learned over time that if it's a series, it doesn't necessarily mean all the games are as great. But I was lucky that as I played these different games, I was slowly starting to find people, right? So throughout these different games, I realized that, oh, there's people that like to follow certain games. I was kind of getting to know what Twitch was, because really, I didn't really. go out of my way to reach out to anyone. I didn't start watching other people stream. I literally just played games for a little bit and then
Hmm.
made an account on Twitch and just started and kind of hoped for the best. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but maybe people will come by and want to hang out. Maybe they won't. Who knows? And so that's kind of
So
really where I started.
mostly because I mean I've always been in like the competitive game. I'm not saying I'm a competitor in gaming. I'm just saying I've always played the multiplayer, like hey
Right.
shoot 'em up, Call of Duty's, Gears of War. I started on Gears of War,
Mhm.
Call of Duty, etc. If you're jumping into Twitch, how
Mhm.
did you pick? So I played the Bioshock. I've never played the Witchers. I played the Bioshock, so that's first person shooter. I can see that easy, calm stream.
Mhm.
It's a really good game for you to pause and go back to it. I know nothing about The Witcher, but I know it's pretty complex.
Mhm.
Nonetheless, you're taking two pretty complex games and jumping in. How did you grab those to start out of everything out there? Like why didn't you play Snake or Pac-Man?
I know. I know, and that's funny because I wanted to play something because they're like, well, what do you think you'd like? Like, I just kind of started asking some friends who I knew were playing games, and they're like, well, what do you think you would like? I was like, well, I like a good story because I like to read, and they're like, oh, well, you might like, the BioShock series. It kind of goes with a storyline, and you're kind of just like going through the motions, and maybe that might kind of lead you into learning, basic controls and that sort of thing. And let me tell you, I'm kind of lucky. A lot of those were never clipped because those were probably the most brutal beginnings ever. So if anyone had ever seen, me playing, and I know some people here didn't get to see me until a lot later, and it was probably been really brutal had they started with me because it was a rough go at first. It was constantly like, wait, where do I look? Oh, I have a mini map. Oh, wait, what did it say I had to do? Oh my God, I don't know what's going on. And constantly me like looking up things after stream or kind of rage quitting and being like, I don't know how to play this.
So were
And
you
so
controller mouse or keyboard right off the gate, right
I
off the bat?
started keyboard right
Keyboard.
away.
Keyboard right
Start
away.
keyboard right away. And I have a control. It's funny because I have an Xbox, but I honestly had played what was it? Very few games. I think I played the first Walking Dead, which was literally just like, you pick.
Hit a button, pick the
Yeah,
story.
you pick, and that's basically it. There wasn't much to it. So I was like, that's kind of fun, but I don't think I want to use a controller because I think I would be terrible. I just kind of started thinking back to playing with my sister growing up and playing Super Smash with her and getting wrecked every time. And I was like, there's no way. Maybe controller is a little bit easier, or maybe mouse and keyboard is a little easier than controller. Let's see how this goes. And so it was a learning adjustment for sure, but I think it's much easier than, if I had started with just a controller. I
I
think it
think
would have
you've
been a little bit
opened
brutal.
up a deadly debate that we are going to have later about keyboard versus controller. But first, I do want to
Mhm.
acknowledge Luke. What is going on? How we doing, buddy? Glad you finally joined the fucking stream. Rudy just throwing bits left and right. I appreciate you. I do see a lot of people in here already from the Katie Cat Corner. I
Yay!
have to acknowledge one of my favorite people that joined our chat. This is not to mute anybody else, because obviously I've become pretty friendly with some of the people in your chat. But Lip, I think Lip has the best fucking radio voice in the fucking world, and I think more than ever, Lip should probably be on this doing behind the ropes, not me. He's got radio voice. I have
Has
to call
has
that
the
out.
voice. Absolutely has. I think that was the first thing a lot of us mentioned when we first started playing with Lip was like, "Oh, hi."
Yeah,
It was one of those like your voice is great. I think that was kind of everyone's comment at first when we started playing with a bunch of people in the community was like, "Oh, hi, how's it going?" So absolutely I think yeah, like Penn saying ASMR Lip, that would be great, Lip. That should be your
so
career,
funny.
side career
I'm
there.
just waiting for like a traffic report from him. Can I get like traffic, weather, maybe update on Chicago sports? I don't know.
Ooh,
Send it to
yeah.
me.
Love it. All of those things would be great.
And I also think I saw somewhere in here. I think Rudy just hit 17 months with Katie. So some of
Yeah.
these people have been following me for over a year.
Yeah, I think I have at this point, I think I have about four people who have been probably 14 months or more. I have one person who's pretty close to almost have been subbing to me for almost my full 2 years, which will be 2 years at the end of October. Um, so, interesting. It's really interesting to kind of find those people that have stuck around through literally every different type of game and every different type of like we're learning as we go along kind
Yeah,
of deal.
no kidding. And I'm also noticing two things real quick. I'm also noticing in the background, I have my stream up. The
Mhm.
background still has writing in it. I just noticed that. Why is that happening? Little Spaghetti, welcome, buddy. I gotta fix that. We'll figure it out. Maybe I can edit it out later, but we're just gonna run with it. So let me ask you about your community real quick.
Mhm.
You're almost at 2 years. You
Mhm.
have you have a lot of the faithful followers. What has been your attrition rate as far as who you're keeping, who you're losing? What do you do to obtain new masses, etc.?
So I think I have like for those who come in and sub, I have a majority of people who are probably over 3 months, typically 3 months and more that have been kind of continuously coming back. So, um, I have a decent amount that come in. A lot of them are all over the globe, right? And have all different time periods and lives, and I keep changing my times and when I'm streaming all the time, so it's hard for a lot of them to kind of come in.
Mm-hmm.
And really, when I first started, I had no clue that you should have a schedule. I had no clue that there's kind of a routine you should be kind of throwing out there, no clue that you should be having some sort of social media to try to promote yourself. So there was a lot of learning that took place, and it was pretty difficult at first when I realized that I wasn't getting to where I thought I would like to get right away. And it wasn't until probably about halfway through that so last summer when I started to kind of really create like a social media platform. I made, I had a TikTok, I had Twitch, and I had Twitter, and I had Instagram. And I think my TikTok was really what helped me the most originally when I started just kind of posting on there. um I did have a lot of people that kind of came from that platform into my Twitch originally, so that kind of helped get me to a place where I was finding some really other people from different places at that point. And so that was a huge helpfulness for me. I don't have those anymore at this point right now, but that was something that I think was a learning experience. Like I didn't know that those are things to help promote yourself and to kind of get you where you need to be.
Yeah, I'm new, so obviously social media. I can't say that I missed that train. Well, I got a hype train, guys. Thank you, hype one train. Gons, thank you for the bits. Welcome, Gons. I miss you, buddy. 1 month subscribed. Taco, thank you so much for the follow. I got bits from Mullet Daddy. I got a sub from my old college roommate, Lil Spaghetti. Guys, thank you. This is because of Katie Cat, not because of me. This is because of Katie Cat. Are you fucking kidding
Oh
me?
no.
This shit
Oh
doesn't
no.
happen unless I got Katie Cat here. Thank you, guys. I
All
appreciate you.
you.
All of you.
All you.
And just blew through level one. Thank you. Um, so going back real quick, I am not late to the social media game. Like I was kind of that weird hybrid. Like at my age, I didn't have social media growing up, but like
Right.
I was the point where like Tom was my first of 8 friends on like MySpace. Like
Yes.
that was cool, right? Changing my
Yeah, yeah.
wallpaper and my background music.
Gotta have music.
Yeah,
Gotta have
100%. It was like
all
that was
that.
like stress back then. That was stress having to know what your wallpaper was going to be
Ooh,
on MySpace and
but
who
who
was
was
going
the
to replace
order?
Tom. Who was
Hmm.
going to replace
That
Tom?
that order was a huge deal. Like if you didn't put someone in a certain order, you were gonna piss off someone for a long time, and it was gonna be a huge deal.
It was rivalry for that top 8. And now when I look back, I mean, I laugh about this in Spanish all the time. I don't even think I have 8 friends. I need Tom in that starting lineup to fill a spot. No joke.
That safety net.
The safety net for sure. And then, if I
Mhm.
get him out, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't need him, but I bring him back in. I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't gotten to it. Like, I need Tom. Simply
Yeah.
put, I need Tom. But Facebook was college. Like, it was actually for your classes. You uploaded your. Geez, first off, Rudy, stop with the fucking bits. Jeez, dude. I appreciate you, but you're going nuts right now. Thank you, little spaghetti. Um, So yeah, Lil Spaghetti and I went to college together. Fun fact at CSU, Colorado State. But Facebook, when it originally came out, I remember uploading all my classes in the time. So I was in that like weird transition of like, how do you actually use social media to like the fucking behemoth it is now? But I am late on the TikTok game, and so you
Mhm.
were saying that you were big. Katie, come on, you're on my stream, and you're gifting subs here. Come on, Katie. You're on right
Well, I just
now.
saw some friends that are on here, so I see like, I got Pent in here, we got
Come on.
Rudy, we got Lip, we got Taco. There's a lot of friends in here. There's
Thank you,
Fade coming
Faded
in right now.
Monster. Pay attention,
There's
Katie.
there's a
Close the
lot of
wallet.
friends.
Thank you, Katie. Sorry, tangent. I'm sweating. A lot of talking. Reading the hype train. TikTok. Everyone's saying TikTok is a cheat code. Was that your go-to marketing tool? I gimmick. What's the word I'm looking for?
So yeah, so I like joined TikTok just as like a bullshit thing because I was bored. It was COVID time, right? I was like, let's just watch random videos because I'm
Right.
bored, right? And so it was just an easy thing to do. And then I kind of stumbled across that there were gamers on there and people who were actually streaming on Twitch. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize that that was, which I should
Mm-hmm.
have known, right? Like there's millions of different parts of TikTok and like all these different places you could be a part
Mm-hmm.
of. And so I realized that and I was like, well, maybe. So like last summer I was like, nah, I'll just, I'm on break. I'm a teacher. I can make some videos right now and kind of
Mm-hmm.
do whatever. So that was kind of where I started with that was just making some videos on there. Um, and so I think that helped me a lot because I did find a lot of fantastic people through TikTok. I was actually really lucky with a lot of people that came on, and are still coming on, regardless that I don't have TikTok anymore or I do. And so that really did help me a lot. I
Mm-hmm.
think that was a great place to just post videos. And it really was what I learned was not necessarily like my anything with my gaming, right? It could be just me making a random video related to like some sort of, whatever with gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be just me like whatever, and that seemed to be what was going well for me at the time. And it was a lot of like at one point it was a lot of like Call of Duty because I was playing a lot of Call of Duty at the time when I started to make some TikTok videos and
Mm-hmm.
everything. But over time it was kind of a learning experience because I don't really know because over time different games are popular, different games are less popular, whatever it may be. So it was kind of just learning as you go. And so TikTok was really the place to kind of find people if you wanted to have people come into your streams. And it was really a lot of like marketing of that, like, hey, I'm a streamer on here, hope to see you there, hey, go and click on my bio and come find me, here's all my, I had that link tree that I had built,
Mm-hmm.
and so that they could click on all my different socials, they could get onto my stream. And I did notice like a huge increase originally when I first started making TikToks of people coming on there or at least following and coming back at some point to my streams.
So I'm debating if I just want to jump into this right away because you
Okay.
gave me a lot to go off of there. I was kind of holding back. I think we're gonna skivvy off. Uh, we're gonna skivvy off script here real quick because it's more of a serious topic. We don't have to get too granular in. Put it this way: let's just avoid politics in it. Let's just
Right.
talk about the case in point, the actual issue at hand.
Mhm.
But you don't have social media anymore.
Right. I mean,
You
I have like personal
personal.
social media, right? And those are all just private. They've always been private, just more or less because I have students
Uh
that
huh.
go out and about to try to find me. And so I've always had those personal at this point. But yeah, so all of my streaming ones I deleted recently. I just
Yes.
deleted them like about a month ago.
So yes, removing the personal aspect. There's no to avoid. I guess they do kind of. Twitch could bleed into any kind of internet life or internet FaceTime camera time that can bleed into your personal aspect. You are a very guarded person, and you well protect your identity because
Mhm.
of issues you have had.
Right.
Now, it is all over headlines right now. Anybody who is in the gaming community right now has seen the headlines of Activision
Hmm.
and Blizzard. We all know the massive 2017 issue with IGN. It seems like I don't want to say an unspoken rule that it easily gets brushed under the rug, but it seems to be
Hmm.
that harassment to women in the spotlight is not socially acceptable, but it's like almost like, hey, if you're gonna do this, expect it, kind of thing. And so people like yourself, you have to be a little guarded, and you have to be very guarded, and you have
Hmm.
to hinder or cut back on some of the tools that you would use to market yourself because it's almost like a double-edged sword. You can't put too much of yourself out there, but you also need to market yourself to get it out there. Talk a little bit about where you're at right now with social media.
Right. So, um, I had social media and I was actually at first feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I got to the point where and I'm the kind of person, I think you reached out to me actually on one of my social media platforms at one point originally, and I'm the
Mm-hmm.
kind of person who tries my best to respond to everybody as long as it's something that's kind of appropriate. Like I appreciate anyone who wants to message me and say, "Hey, I saw your stream the other day. It was awesome."
Mm-hmm.
And I love those kind of, DMs. I love those kind of comments, so I always try to respond back. And so that was something I started from when I first had my social medias a long time ago, and something that is interesting, even if you don't follow certain people that you originally had commented on and responded to originally in your DMs.
Mm-hmm.
And I had done it to so many people, probably hundreds of people. I was like, "Oh, well, thank you for coming. I hope you come back again." Whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then it turned into I was constantly getting DMs of people that I hadn't probably talked to, and it could have been a year ago. They now randomly decided that they want to DM me again, but then it's getting into this place where it's now not a DM of, hey, I saw you on Twitch. It was more or less like a, hey, how are you doing? What's going on? And I, from those kind of comments, more or less, I know where those are typically leading based on what has happened multiple times through like DMs. My DMs have been very interesting. I'm sure you can imagine. Or it could be something as bold as like, hey, can you send me your feet pics? Or like, hey, I think probably one of the most interesting ones that I got was like, if I send you my jacket, will you wear it for an entire week? Don't bathe and send it back to me. I'll pay you money if you do that. And I'm like, I don't even know who the fuck you
Was this
are.
guy named Where's Bones? Because that's something Bones would say. Bones, are you still in here? Did you send Kitty Cat your jacket? But that's what I'm saying. Like, why? Why is that the hey? She's gonna put herself out there. Like, I'm just gonna. I don't even know the word. I'm trying to think of like the dating game. Like, obviously, like I'm pretty fortunate. I haven't been in the dating game for years. I'm
Right.
married. I go hit on my wife and I send like the dirty text messages to my wife and I get nothing in
Right.
return. So I maybe that no, I'm kidding. I'm just trying to think of like when I was in the dating game, or not even dating, because dating's the wrong word maybe, but like when you're trying to pursue an individual, I would never have thought of like, hey, send me your feet. Well, I hate feet, but hey, send me let me send you my robe and then send it back. Like that
Yeah.
has. Please show me a message where that has successfully worked. Please
Right,
send me that.
right, and that's why I find it so interesting because I've had some pretty bold DMs of people that I originally just said, they said like, "Hey, I loved your stream," and then they just popped up on my DMs another day, and I was like, "Oh," like clicking on it, and it like turns into like, ooh, like, oh, that's not the same person I talked to probably a few months ago that came onto my stream, and now they're like being the opposite way, where now they're like having this sort of expectation, and sometimes a lot of people just feel like they know you even if they've only come into your streams like two times, right? And so, and
Yeah,
I think we kind of had this conversation where we talked a little bit about like people feel like they have a right to know a lot about your life when you put it out there in social media, when you stream, when you are doing this sort of kind of on these kind of platforms, right?
right.
And um I like to share as much as I can, but I am also now to the point where I've had a lot of issues in my past that I kind of at the point where I just am very protective of things,
For
and
sure.
I try to be super careful because it can be scary, and it's something that, I know the internet can be scary, and I knew that before starting streaming, but I think because maybe I'm too nice sometimes. I think some of my chat might agree that sometimes I'm too nice to too many people, or I give
That's such a
people the
dog
benefit of
shit
the doubt.
excuse. I'm sorry. I hate when. I'm sorry. I hate. And it's not just you. Like I just hate when people are like, "Oh, I'm too nice. I'm too trusting." Shut the fuck up. Like stop blaming. No, that's not you. That's because you got some fucking weirdo on the other side of the computer. Make him apologize or her.
Right.
Weirdos
And
can
and you
be any
know,
gender.
that's totally true, and it can be really anybody, and I think that I like to assume that like if I'm just nice to them and be like, "Hey, hi, how's it going?" Maybe they'll ignore the fact that they originally said like, "Hey, show off whatever." Maybe they'll see
Right.
that I'm just trying to be nice, and then it really doesn't end up turning that way. And obviously now I just have learned from a long experience just to ignore a lot of those kind of pieces. But you know, yeah, like Penn saying I'm too trusting of people. Yeah, so I don't know. I've always kind of been in that sort of sense, but it is the boldness that people have on
Yeah.
on the
Yeah. The
internet,
setting nuts
right?
on people. Holy cow. Fucking crazy. I do want to make fun of I want to make light of a very serious topic. I loved Lip's comment of I have a website. It's called Only Jackets. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's pure gold. That is making light of a very serious issue and having a little fun with
Always,
it. I love it. Way
always.
to go, Lip. Hands off. Nick, welcome. Thank you for the sub. Hype train completed. I appreciate all of you. Rudy just went a little fucking too nuts
Yay!
on it.
Woohoo!
Relax, Rudy. Let's just have some fun and have some cocktails. But yeah, so I mean, the going back to the topic at hand here, it's I saw, I believe it was Blizzard's
Hmm.
COO step down. So this
I
is
saw that.
obviously a known issue. I
Right.
now I am okay. Look at we're podcast is a very generous word that what we're on right now. Like we're really just hanging out on Twitch. Thank you
Mhm.
everyone for joining in. So I don't want to say that I have any credible sources. I'm just throwing that out there. Jojo Binks, what the fuck is up? But isn't that why Jessica Chobot stepped down or like left IGN back in 2017 because of all this shit? And she was
Mhm.
pretty iconic. Like, she was as big as Sydney Goodman. Like,
Right.
she was IGN for the longest
Right.
time. But it's kind of like all this
Absolutely.
shit gets brushed under the rug. It's like, oh, well, she put herself out there.
Right. So right. It's like one of those issues of like, well, you're out there, and things are just going to happen, and it's almost the excuse of like people are just going to be who they are, where to the point where it's going past the line, right?
Right.
And I think that it's more or less that people just have gotten so bold and to the point where they just can feel like they can just say whatever and be whoever, and there's like little to no consequence
Yeah.
for being that way, right?
It's so
And
easy to hide behind a computer with no consequence.
right, absolutely. And even to the point where, you feel like you have some sort of safeguard. So you can do certain things because like are they gonna know or
Right.
who's going to say anything? And most of the time, a lot of people won't speak up when something happens like that, right?
Right.
And that's like the unfortunate piece about it, where people will shy away from it because, especially if it's in a job situation, you don't want to lose that job. So, am I in the wrong for allowing it to happen, or am I in the wrong for like speaking up and saying that something's going on?
Right.
So it's one of those situations as well.
No, good points. Dragon Lord, welcome. Rudy, a great comment. Katie has a hard time saying no to people because she wants to support and hang out with people. And you have a very addictive personality. Like, maybe that sounds weird. You have a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Come on, Miseducator, help me out here. What's the word I'm looking for?
Um,
By the way, I don't even know what you teach. What do you teach?
Literacy.
Literacy. Okay, literacy. What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Catchy. Let's just go with catchy. You're a very catchy personality.
Engaging. I don't know.
Engaging.
Whatever.
You're very well. You're very genuine. It's very easy to get lost into your stream. I mean, there's been countless times where Mrs. Spanish and I are sitting down watching a movie, and I have your stream on. Now, granted, like you're up by like my ear, but like you can't help but stop and listen. And I'm pulling the phone down,
Right.
like throwing something in. So kudos to you. Happy Sarah, welcome. So glad you can be here. I appreciate you, my Australian friend, probably my only friend from Australia at this point. But so let me ask you a more serious question, a little more serious than the previous, and you need to answer truthfully.
Okay.
Why haven't I gotten anybody asking me to send back a jacket after I haven't bathed in a week? I don't. What do I have to do for that?
You gotta make a TikTok.
I have a TikTok. Nobody comes to my TikTok.
You gotta make like I don't know some sort. There has to be some video that will then drive the people to ask for those jacket wearing for a week long type of situation. I don't know what it is. It's something that you've gotta discover, and then you're gonna have to give the people what they want.
Ricky, it's all about the voice. You need to romance your audience. Okay, Lip, how about this?
Oh.
I'm going to one-up you. I am not going to shower for a week, and I will live in this robe with nothing under it, and I'm going to send it to you. Tell me what you do to this robe. Are you going to burn it, wear it, smell it, make your significant other wear it? You tell me what, because I've yet to get that. I've yet to get that in my inbox. And no one's ever asked for pictures of my feet. And I have a fucking filthy shoe collection. You think somebody would want to see my feet?
Yeah.
Filthy shoe collection. But Built for Comfort, welcome. How we doing, buddy? I'd smell it personally. Honestly, if anybody wants to fucking smell me after I haven't bathed for a week, sitting in the... I'm actually, Katie, no joke, your robe, the same with It's Fatale. You guys had very comfortable, great-looking robes. I am sweating my ass off right now. This thing is like 20
This is
fucking
an easy
pounds.
breezy summertime kind of robe. It's
And
great.
it's personalized.
I know. How can you not love it?
I mean, the sleeves are a little scandalous. You got that little fanciness hanging out at the bottom.
I know. It's great. Yeah.
But wow, this thing 20 fucking pounds feels like a Bed Bath and Beyond robe. I bitch about this robe every time I do this.
I think every time I've come in here and you're wearing that, you always say how much you hate it.
I hate this fucking robe. My mom actually went to Florida. Complete side story. My mom went to Florida with a family friend. Just had to get away for a little bit, and she sends me one of those like typical mom shots. Mom, if you're watching, I'm making fun of you right now. Wizard Devin, what's up, buddy? She does that where it's like the phone's like this, and she's trying to do a selfie, so it's just like a straight up shot. You get nothing but like mom face here. But there's a guy on the airplane in a pink one of these. She's like, this robe is heinous. I can't even believe he's wearing this in public. Like, Ma, come on. I got the same thing hanging in the fucking bathroom over there. Just it's
like,
not pink.
I wear the same thing.
Come on. Um, Last question about the social media piece. Actually, one last serious question about the social media piece. How much has that hindered your growth on Twitch? And little sub question. And what are you doing to make up for that difference to get yourself out there?
Right. So I have noticed, and I think it's also with the summertime. I think a lot of people with COVID was kind of restrictions were up for a little bit. People were excited to be able to go out and about again. So I think a lot of us kind of felt that as streamers that a lot of our numbers were down, right? And so that was something that I noticed right away when, it slowly started becoming nicer outside. A lot of people were probably more likely, right, out and about more, which is understandable. I want people to enjoy,
Right.
go out and do things do want to do. But yeah, I also have noticed that since I don't post on all of my platforms now of when I'm streaming, when I'm on, I have noticed like that kind of decline at this point. But I think it's more or less um, now just trying to talk to people through other people's streams sometimes and trying to like reach out in some ways and really trying to be active as I can be sometimes in my own Discord. So trying to continue on with like community nights and getting people involved as much as we can. So we try to do always a monthly community night, which we just had one on Friday night with everybody that kind of came on and hung out. So just kind of trying to continuously, as much as I can at this point, trying to get involved and getting my name out there. It's much more difficult when you don't have social media to kind of use that piece to kind of get people to come into your streams and stuff. But I think it also has prevented a lot of stress that I was having with having social media and a lot of like, just like different concerns overall of like anytime I posted something, especially on Instagram or on my TikToks, just like making sure that there was nothing visible that could show like where I live, anything about me that could be
Right.
personalized, anything that I use anywhere else on my other personal Instagram, so everything had to be separate. And so that was a really difficult thing to try to maintain and make sure that like, my safety was like number one priority because like I think I was too trusting originally, especially with a lot of different people that I first met. And I got burned for it originally, which was kind of there was probably like two or three times where I was close to giving up streaming because of pretty intense circumstances that I was kind of having to deal with at the time. So
Well, let's not go to that extreme. So you have enough people in your following, just across all platforms. If everything was up and running, you have enough people across all social media platforms. Why don't you? Would you have not that it's fixing anything, you're righting any wrong, but what if you had someone manage your social media? Do you think that would alleviate you from some of the stress, but still get what you need accomplished as far as getting your name out there?
I mean, probably. I think the most helpful thing was always posting, even if it was just like clips that if I wasn't making any more TikToks, I was trying to still post clips that were from my channel onto TikTok and just posting when I'm going live on my Instagram and just randomly like posting some things on Twitter was helpful. And I think, yeah, absolutely, that would be something that would be beneficial and managed better because then I'm not feeling, I don't know why I feel this way, but I feel an obligation to always respond to literally every single person. And near the end, when I was about to like stop using them, I stopped responding to people and I noticed some angry people that were pretty upset that I wasn't giving them the direct attention that they was
Expected.
originally getting or expected from me. And um, that was kind of an eye opener of like, hey, like this is a lot. And so that would be something that actually would probably alleviate all those issues and probably still manage to like continue to get my name out there and continue to get people to come into the streams without it being all on me
For
right
sure.
sometimes.
For sure. Well, let's pivot. We can talk about this forever because it's such a hot button topic. It's such a rabbit hole. Let's just leave it at that. Let's just shift gears real quick. I did take pictures from your personal account. Now, your username's your social security number, so I had to edit it out. I don't know why you would do that, but I got three
Of course.
pictures. So I've
Yes.
done this every stream where I just throw pictures up, and I just want to jump into them a little bit. I picked interesting pictures that I think hopefully will have a little bit of a backstory. But I'm going to start with the most simplistic one.
Okay.
Is this one tattoos? What does
Right.
this say? And yep, there it is. So it is
Yeah,
real. It
so
hasn't gone
it
away
is
in six
real. Yes,
months.
it has not gone away. Yeah.
Okay.
So it says Gawajile, which is Oneida because I am Native American. My grandma's 100% Native American,
Okay.
and so the thing is, a lot of the women in my family that are Native, we kind of slowly have been getting this tattoo. So originally it was a lot of my cousins that were getting it, and they got it on their wrist.
Mm-hmm.
And so, they had shown us that they got this tattoo to my sister and myself, and we're like, we love that. And we talked to our aunt, and so we all kind of decided that we were going to go ahead and get these tattoos as well. Unfortunately, my sister and I, our wrists are a lot smaller than our cousins' wrists are. So when we originally showed them what we wanted, they told us it was not going to be fitting on our wrist. They're
Right.
like, there is no way, unless you want it to be chunky and bleed and just look terrible, that it's going to fit. We're like, okay. I'm like, where else could we put it? So then we just kind of decided, because we still wanted to be somewhat kind of covered in some way. So if like my hand is down, you can't really tell, right,
Mm-hmm.
as much that I have a tattoo. So we both got it there. So Gawajili means family. And so that is kind of why our entire family got this at this
Mm-hmm.
point. Other than my mom, who was a chicken and did not want to get it, and my grandma, who unfortunately is 90 years old at this point, and
Yes.
she probably would have gotten it if this was like maybe even 5 years ago,
Radical
because
grandma.
she's pretty great. She's awesome. She wanted to get like multiple like ears piercings a couple years ago. She wanted to get a lot of things, and so I thought it was pretty great. So we kind of have decided that I think for this year we're gonna get um just like a non-permanent kind of like
Uh-huh.
tattoo we can get her that she can kind of put on just to like feel like she's a part of it, because she's kind of missing out on that in some ways because she really would love to have that
Right.
piece. And so yeah, so and getting tattoos are addicting, so I want another one, of course, and my
They
sister and I have
are.
been
They're
talking about
very
this for a
addicting.
while. They are addicting. It's hard to stop once you start.
So hold that thought real quick. I just got rated by Arabella with
Yay!
17 people. Raiders, welcome. I am Ricky Spanish. You are now watching right now exclusive access behind the ropes. I typically do a podcast on the first Tuesday of every month where I get to introduce and get to know and hang out with up and coming people in the Twitch community. So no, I'm not gonna be doing Nick Merckx or Tim the Tap Man. Fuck you guys. I'm too big for you. All right. I want to give people a cool background, unique stories, and get to know them. So you are jumping in the fourth episode. I have the lovely Katie Cat. We are talking about her tattoo right now. Raiders, welcome. Arabella, thank you so much for the raid. 17 people. That's actually my biggest raid. So hats off to you. Holy cow. Welcome. Mad Maddie, I didn't realize you were still in here. I was going to try to acknowledge you when you were first jumping in. Mad Maddie, one of the OGs who did episode 2 with me of Behind the Robe, a buddy of mine from Ireland. What is up, buddy? So let's, real quick, I want to talk the tattoos because I love that it says family. And
Yep.
I'm going to bring up kind of a funny story. So I have family on the inside of my arm. And I thought it was
Okay.
the coolest thing in the world. I was like, me and my cousins got it, but we all got in different areas. This is my first like exposed tattoo. I was like, yeah, this is it inside the bicep. Cool, got it, right?
Right. Hmm.
There's a Zac Efron movie where he's in a fraternity. I think where they're like the noisy neighbors.
Yes. 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 Yes.
No joke. There's a whole scene where he's like, yeah, I got my family. It's literally in the same script. Literally in the same script. I got family right here in the inside of my arm. He goes on to this whole rant. I'm like, oh my God. First off, Zac Efron is grilling me. The best looking guy on earth is absolutely roasting my tattoo. Like, I couldn't come up with something more creative. So kudos to you for coming up with a great tattoo. So then I'm assuming in that picture, I'm going to throw it back up there real quick. Assuming in this picture, that's your sister's arm too, right?
Yes, and so it took a lot to get her to get that tattoo with me. She is terrified of needles to the point where she will pass out. Actually, if she has to get a shot or anything with needles at all, so she just has, that white coat syndrome, I think what it's called, when she's just really nervous at doctors and all that kind of stuff. So anytime she's gotten a shot or had to get her blood drawn, she literally has passed out like every single time.
Yes.
And so I had to convince her for probably like berate her, not even like convince her, it was berating her constantly. She's my older sister, so constantly berating her for like a year.
Uh-huh.
And I can be pretty annoying being the younger sister, of course. I'm pretty used to being annoying. So constantly like doing it. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna find a place. And so I found a place. I was like, we're gonna go here, we're gonna go get this tattoo. This is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna come pick you up. We're done with this, like, we might get it someday. I was like, we're done with like the talking about it. We're gonna go get it. I don't care anymore. And so, we went one night, we just kind of like got in there, we showed him what we wanted. He kind of explained, we can't get on our wrist, but we can get it somewhere else. And so he created it, and I had her go first because she's like, if I see you go first, I won't make it. I will walk out. So she went first. And it wasn't a very long, it was probably maybe, gosh, a little over 5 minutes, right? It was super quick, right? So like super quick through it. And she is the biggest baby ever. I think now she can kind of, she'll be fine now, kind of like, but at the time she was like, it was brutal for her. She was like, like in so much pain. And I was like, it's really not that bad. Like, you'll be fine. And so then like I went and I was like, you're fine. Like it wasn't that big of a deal situation, but I was really proud of her because she did it, and I didn't think she was actually going to follow through with it on me. And now she's the one who's been asking me like, let's go get another one soon. So, I'm glad I pushed her to do it.
I absolutely love it. So I'm going to back up real quick for all the Raiders who are just jumped in. We've been talking to Katie Cat about social media, what it's done in her Twitch community, and how she has to keep her personal life and her Twitch or online, let's call it life, very separate. So we are looking at personal pictures from her personal account. The downfall with a lot of the things that we're seeing right now is just kind of the understanding that it's okay to harass someone that's on in the spotlight. Unfortunately, what we were talking about is we feel women are easily targeted, and it's kind of like this unspoken rule of like, hey, she put herself out there, it's fine. Because we've all agreed I'm not getting those kind of messages. So we're now looking at some of her just pictures real quick that I do throw up on Instagram just to divert the situation, because typically we look at their Twitch, TikTok, some kind of social media platform that is in line with Twitch, but we're actually looking at some of her personal pictures. So that's where we're at right now. Deadman, what's up? How we doing, buddy? Patty, how we doing, buddy? All the Raiders who are still in, welcome. We're going on to picture number 2. You ready, Katie?
Let's do it.
All right. This one seems like a pretty proud moment, something pretty special. You are in education. You are a teacher, and the comment in here is masters with the green check. You have your master's degree.
I do.
Congrats.
I do have my master's degree. Yeah, thank you.
What's the date on this bad boy? When did you get this bad boy?
I got my master's in 2018. So this is a little bit of an older photo. So 2018 is when I got my master's. To be, master's typically takes about 2 years. So I got my master's in leadership and education. Yeah, it was. I think I kind of mentioned this like originally, where like I like to, if I am going to be busy, I'm going to be busy with like too much. And so this was the perfect example of me being so involved in so many different things that I don't know how now thinking back, and I don't know how I managed to do it, because on top of getting my master's, right, so I was going to classes at night, 7, 8 o'clock at night, some nights. I was also coaching basketball at the time. So I was coaching 7th grade boys, 7th grade girls basketball until, 8 and 9 o'clock at night sometimes, depending on the day. I was training for my first half marathon at the time, so constantly doing long runs on the weekend. And I was, overall I always have to constantly take things home as a teacher. You're constantly grading things or commenting and, talking to students, talking to parents throughout like your entire week or your weekend. So the amount of free time I had during that was pretty minimal. And so that moment when I finally was done was fantastic, because almost everything came to an end at the same time, and it was just like such a relief. And really the people in that photo is my parents and my sister, that I don't know how I would have gone through it if I hadn't had them, because they are the ones constantly being like, you're almost done, you're gonna get through it, it's gonna be fun. And I'm like constantly like, I don't know what I was thinking. This was a terrible choice. I should have like quit something at some point, but it was all things that I loved and all things that I just wanted to do. I just chose to do them all at the same time. And so kind of finishing up with that master's was something that I was very excited about, very happy to be done with. But I am lucky enough to have, a family that really supports everything and anything I do. And, that's not necessarily always the case for everyone. And so,
For sure.
just having them there was just like really big for me, really exciting for just all of us as a whole family. So
No, that's awesome. Congratulations. You're a badass without having to say that too many times. I think I've already called you a badass 5 times in this podcast. So the amount of humble brags that I heard during that, you not just are you a basketball coach, you're doing half marathon, triathlon, Tough Mudder. I heard it all right, and I also saw pictures of Tough Mudder, so I know it's in there. So you're obviously, you can take on a lot. You have a work ethic of a fucking champion. I was actually talking about you today to a couple people that I actually work with who follow the Riiicky Spanish channel. They get a kick out of this, and they absolutely love it. But one of them no. So I am doing this so that I can make an edit of this clip later, and I am doing this for Damp Denim. Katie Cat, when are you gonna come work with us? The job offer is right here. This is the interview. The job offer is right here. Damp Denim, if you come back and somehow get to this clip at 50 minutes and 3 seconds, here's the offer to Katie Cat. She's going to come work with us.
There we go. Yep, absolutely. You know, yeah, I think I don't know.
Don't worry about it, Lip. It's a super secret job.
It's a super secret job. I love it. Yep. Yeah, so I don't know. I did a lot. And I don't know why I continually do that, but I do that to myself a lot where I take on too much.
That's, I mean, you're obviously that's awesome. And one thing that I also do like to kind of smirk at, because there's a few other people that I talk to pretty closely about personal life, you know, from our Discord, from the Gaming Wire and stuff, and just more so. To be honest, you develop friendships, right? Especially in a remote world. You're one of them. Mad Maddie, obviously, literally everybody in this chat. Like I've developed some kind of personal relationship with, but the negative connotation with Twitch and video games always seems to be, in my book, oh, they're unmotivated, they don't have jobs, they're scrapping to get cash. Whether you are scrapping to get cash or not, who cares what you're doing it for?
Right.
But I don't understand the negative. Like, why is work ethic always at question when we talk about something? I'm even embarrassed at my job. Like, I have a decent job. Like, and I'm embarrassed to tell people because they're like, "What? Really? What are you doing this for?" Like, I don't know, because I fucking have fun doing it on Tuesdays, and I love drinking Clase Azul. Like, what do you want me to do?
Right.
But here you are, like, you're coaching, you're in great athletic shape, or you're training for marathons. You have your fucking masters. Like, you're outside of your doctorate, like you're hitting a great pinnacle here and all these milestones, and yet you're still on Twitch having fun.
Right. Yeah, and I think that I started doing it just because I was interested in like what gaming's all about, because I knew I grew up with my sister playing games all the time, right? And so I know she loved it. She was always something that was really interesting to her, and so I was like, well, I'll give it a try at this point. My attention span's hopefully a little bit better, so let's see if I can actually handle this at this point. So you know, started playing games and really started meeting really fantastic people, and I was lucky enough to develop some, like, you know, friendships with a lot of people that were coming to my streams, and then, you know, having the Discord now, and it's been really like fantastic. But a lot of it's funny, I think Rudy especially would know that I kept my streaming life completely separate from anyone in my life. No one knew that I was streaming. I think I probably kept
family included,
probably for almost like a year, where I didn't tell anyone I was doing it, because I was embarrassed, because I was like, and I didn't really know why, other than like the few people who play games that like had recommended me playing and trying it out, like they kind of knew, but otherwise I didn't tell anyone, and I don't really know why I wanted to keep it from them, but it felt like it was something that I should be embarrassed about, like, oh, playing games is childish, or oh, doing that is like not something that you should be doing at this point in your life. Like, why are you doing this now? You know, why are you doing this now?
Right.
Those are all just like my own opinions, I guess, I thought that people would have. And really, luckily, I have a lot of amazing people in my life that were like, that's awesome. That also sounds like something that you would do. Like, absolutely, just like, you know, like right away, they're like, that makes sense. So they're like, and I've tried to explain to my dad, which is hilarious, and he's just like, so. And I've showed him clips of what I do, and he's like, so you sometimes go on and you just talk to people. Sometimes you wear a donut costume, and then sometimes you play games, and people just talk and hang out with you. I was like, yep, pretty much.
At least
that's
it's not OnlyFans.
I know. I was like, aren't you proud of me? Look at me in this donut costume. It's awesome. He's
Hell
like,
yeah.
I mean, he's like, yeah, I mean, I can totally see this is something that you would do. Absolutely. And he just laughs, and he like loves it, and he thinks it's hilarious. But, yeah, I don't know why I kept it for so long. I think it was also, I'm really big on like not failing. Like, if I feel like I'm not going to be successful in something, I want to keep it to myself until I really feel like I'm in a direction where it's going to go well. So I've always keep those kind of things to myself. So originally when I was doing this, I was like, if it doesn't work out, how embarrassing for me to have to tell. I don't even know why I think it's embarrassing. Why should I be embarrassed? Like, oh, I quit trying to stream because, you know, 2 months in and no one's talking to me at this point. You know, I don't know why. I would feel that way, but it felt like it was just another thing of like this idea of success, right? Where like if it works out awesome and I can tell people, if it doesn't, then no one kind of knew, and it
Right.
was just like something myself that I knew,
I guess that's what I share. Like if no one knows about it, then because I don't really. I think I've maybe posted two things of Ricky Spanish on my personal Instagram,
Hmm.
and I literally think it was the Ricky Spanish X Midnight Gaming that Mrs. Spanish made, and yours. I think those are the only two things I've ever posted. I'm like, if it failed, like, well, there's so many questions I'd rather not have. But I
Right.
mean, Rudy brings up a really good point. Got to be confident and proud of your accomplishments. Like,
Hmm.
at the end of the day, like this is some kind of work effort, and it is a direct
Hmm.
reflection of what you put into it. Like you,
Right.
what you get out of it is exactly what you put into it.
Hmm.
Um, and I think the Rudy said something prior to saying about it's maybe how we present it. Like maybe it is. You know what? It's also new, especially now with us being in the middle or hopefully at the tail end of a pandemic. Like this stuff is so much more socially acceptable. So we just didn't have it before. No different than the MySpace comments that we were making before. So, and also I saw Aravella throwing out OnlyFans out there. I have an OnlyFans. I have 0 followers, and I think I got 1 or 2 views. Nobody's bought a picture yet. I don't know why. It's the sexiest. My selfie light just fell. I always do. I smack my table, and the selfie light falls. When I get excited, god damn it! It's the sexiest, most disappointing content work of
Disappointing content. Oh
2021.
my God.
Great. Let's just get to the last piece real quick because we got one more. You
Oh
talked
yeah.
about it. You briefly jumped into it. You said you
Hmm.
coach basketball,
Yes.
but yet here you are shooting hoops in the United Center,
Yes.
wearing a
Love it.
marketing jersey. If you guys can zoom in, it's 24. It's also my favorite number. It was my lacrosse number. Laurie just took it. Are you a Bulls fan? Obviously, you're a Bulls fan. You're a Bulls fan?
I'm a Bulls fan, to a fault,
Okay.
where um, we don't do great. I mean, I've been a Bulls fan since when my parents were watching in the '90s, right? When it was like a big time, super exciting. And we've had some exciting moments where we think we're gonna do pretty great. Not so much lately, but actually funny that I think that number, I had to look on my shirt for that jersey number, was actually Scalabrini. I don't know if you remember Scalabrini when he was like
Yep.
the white Mamba.
The
I
White
had when
Mamba.
when they sold that, and I was like, I have to get this because
Was
he's
he
not going to be on this
24?
team. Hmm. It's hilarious, and so I had to get it because I was like, White Mamba.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, because I was always trying to like
The
go to some of
knee-high
those games.
socks.
Yes, and when everyone's just cheering for him, we're losing by like 30 points, and we got to have him in, and we could have him make one basket, and the entire stadium goes like insane for it, right? Just because we're losing,
Oh
but we
yeah,
got Scalabrini in, and he made a basket. It was
chanting
almost
his
a
name to get
three.
Scalabrini in.
Yes,
Did
like
he come from Boston or did
Scalabrini.
he go to Boston?
I believe he went to
To
Boston
Boston.
afterwards, and so it hurt me, but I was like, I had to get the Scalabrini one just as more or less as a joke, but also because like he was a pretty good player, and I think he was just hilarious of how much hype he was getting for literally playing. Maybe he probably
Oh
played
yeah.
like 30 minutes the
Fourth
entire
quarter,
season.
just you'd get a couple seconds at the last, and it
Yes,
literally was a crowd pleasing player.
yes.
I was a big. I feel like I've fallen off the NBA. I really have
Hmm.
not been paying attention to them. I was a big Bulls fan growing up.
Hmm.
I was throwing my age out there. I'm 34. I was able to. I remember the Jordan games, going to James with Jordan in it. I went
Hmm.
to high school with his kids, so that kind of like kept me connected to the Bulls. But I was a big Noah D Rose.
Lindsey
I loved
Rose.
it.
Yep, that
Love
duo
that
was
whole
fantastic.
yeah, I love that whole era. That the Scalabrine bled into that shortly after.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Spanish came from Colorado, so she's a
Mm.
Denver person, hippie. And so her first NBA experience, her first
Yeah.
NBA season, my old company
Hmm.
had season tickets courtside next to the bench. So their bench, the Bulls bench, you have the announcers table, then you have the Bulls,
Right.
and then
Right.
they go in and out of the corner, and then there's that
Hmm.
front row right under the hoop. I
Yeah.
have pictures or videos of me like on TV, like people were recording, but I was 2 seats away from D Wade, fucking Jimmy Butler walking through. Like, it was
Oh
so that was
man.
her first NBA experience, and not to mention she works at the hospital here, so she's done
Mhm.
Bulls stress test. So she like Paul Gasol was like came up to us and like. Nah, I don't think he hugged her because he knew who she was. He either hugged her and gave her a high five. But here I am, like standing, like trying to get one from Paul Gasol. Like it was
Right, you're
such a
like,
year. And then, so this was when the Bucks weren't cool and Giannis' second season. My cousin worked for them, and I
mhm.
had season tickets to the Bucks, like
Okay. Mhm.
behind the cheerleaders. Sat in my seats maybe 10 games, and then my cousin had us behind the Bucks bench in the tunnels. I met Jabari Parker. That was Mrs. Spanish's first NBA season experience. I was like, I hate to break it to you, this will never happen again. None of this. So
No,
get used to the
never.
nosebleed all the way at the top where they come with oxygen
Always.
masks because you can't
Yeah.
breathe that high.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But
But it's always fun regardless. I think, being from Chicago, we gotta love our Chicago teams regardless of if we're good or not, right? I
Cubs or
mean,
Sox?
Cubs.
Okay, good. You're also
Um,
you're a North Sider.
right, North Side.
Okay.
So, but I'm never gonna go against any of our Chicago teams. If we got Sox going at anywhere at any point, like, you're gonna support them because that's Chicago. We're not the best, so we gotta be excited when we can be a little good.
Right. Well, I am fair weather to the max. Like I was a Bears fan when
hmm
Cutler came,
hmm
mostly because I was in Colorado at that time. So the
Okay.
day Cutler jerseys came out, I bought a Cutler jersey and was
hmm
wearing it. Little spaghetti, if you're still in here, I even remember him being like, he was a huge Broncos fan, and I had the Cutler jersey on, and he literally is like, "Yo, too soon." And I walked around campus with this motherfucker on. Now, granted, Bears and Broncos have very similar colors, but that orange is different. So people who knew, they
Oh
knew what
yeah.
I was doing, and I would just stand like everyone's just like, "Dude, you're such a fucking shit. You love stirring the fucking pot." Jesus.
Got to.
Nick, thank you for the sub. Rudy, just per usual, popping the fuck off. Guys, relax. I'm gonna throw it up one more time because I do want to critique one last piece. So are you currently still coaching? Do you still do that?
I'm not currently still coaching. So when I switched school districts, because I was teaching at a different school district and I switched over the last 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
there was no opportunities for coaching. Unfortunately, it was something that I love doing was
Mm-hmm.
coaching. So no opportunities at this point for any coaching, but
Mm-hmm.
it's fun. It's fun when I get a chance to do it. I love it.
Well, I do want to call this out, coaching or not, and chat back me up on this. Who the fuck taught you to step in on the free throw line? Now, look, you're doing a picture, I get it. But here's the thing. The ball's in the air. I don't care if the ball went in or not. Why wouldn't you just take a step back onto the line?
All right, okay. If I could show you the video of that, I would show you. But they like throw the ball. They throw the ball at you when you're off to the side, and so they just have you dribble up and just shoot from wherever you want. So I'm like trying to dribble up awkwardly, like quickly, because they're trying to like get through different people. So benefit of the doubt, I would normally be behind the free throw line. I'm aware but I did make it.
So they go shoot wherever you want.
Shoot
And
wherever you want.
you
Yeah.
say, I'm going to dribble up awkwardly and I'm going to take a 14-footer
Yes, because I
from the
was like,
paint.
"Ah."
You
Yeah,
couldn't
but
get
then
on the logo, maybe get like a fadeaway going, like look, doing the kind of like the step back, the tongue out of the tongue out of the mouth,
no.
like Jordan.
I know. I should have, and it's funny because I was on the court, and the other teacher that I coached with, who was coaching with me at the time, because he knew I was there. He's like, "Send me some photos." I was like, "Sure, okay, I will." And so sent him this one, and he said the same thing to me. He was like, "I'm just really disappointed in
You're
you
a
right now."
you're a
And he's like,
shoe length away, and I can't imagine you
"No."
got boats on the bottom of those legs. Like you're what, 8 inches? You couldn't just take a step back.
I know. And he said the same thing. It's so funny because then he showed it to like my entire team, and they were just like brutal to me. So then I had to, then at that next practice, I had to shoot 20 free throws in a row and had to make them all before I was allowed to like continue with the day with them, because they were just brutally upset at me. Like, you give us all this shit all the time for stepping over when we accidentally step over, and then here you are in a photo, just like clearly not even close. Like, what are you doing? So I was like, all right, that's fair enough.
I
That's fair.
respect it. I am jealous that you got to put a ball on the UC hardwood. Nonetheless, here it is.
hmm hmm
Um, okay. Well, got it. Chicago dog. I'm just gonna ask Chicago questions real quick. Chicago dog. What goes on your Chicago dog?
Um,
How about
so
this way?
yeah,
What goes on a Katie cat hot dog?
a Katie cat hot dog. Um, so I will have, of course, I love a classic Chicago dog. I will never go to a hot dog place in Chicago and ask for ketchup. I will never do that. I will refuse to do that because I know one, you'll get shit for it from most places. Someone will scream and yell and, definitely be cursing at you. So I'll never do that. But I definitely, if I'm making it myself, I'll put on, ketchup and mustard, but I will put on Chicago like relish, like the really green, bright, bright green
Gotta have
relish.
the
You got to
bright
do
green.
that.
The
Gotta,
nuclear.
yeah,
Hell yeah.
that like pure dyed bright. Have that. Little celery salt on there.
Okay.
Gotta put a few hot peppers on there, and
Sport peppers. Fuck yeah.
and then you gotta have a little bit of a pickle on there, of course. So
So you're
I'll
gonna
do
do
a classic,
relish
but
and a pickle?
yeah, I do it all.
Wow.
I love a good pickle. I
Arabella
love
from another. Are you
relish.
putting onions on there? Do you say onions?
I didn't say onions, but like I don't. But I like if it's already like if I go somewhere and it's already on a Chicago dog, of course
Do you do
I'll have the
tomato?
works. I won't put my tomato at on my own, but like I said, I will never destroy a classic Chicago dog. I'll eat it myself as is. But I'm
So
not like a big tomato person typically.
I fuck tomatoes. Disgusting. If you say you eat a tomato, anybody in here, you're a fucking savage. I can do pico de gallo. I can do
Okay.
salsa. I'm Italian. I'll do the pasta sauce marinara. Fine. But to sit there and eat a full tomato with that greasy jelly middle shit, you're a fucking sociopath if you eat that. I'm calling everybody out in this. So for those who are watching who are not from Chicago or who do not know what a Chicago dog is, the dog is simple. It's a small little Vienna beef. You put mustard only. Then you put the onions. Then you put the relish. You sprinkle some celery salt. You tuck some sport peppers into the fucking side. And you shut the fuck up about it. Okay? There's no ketchup and there's no fucking tomato. So all these pictures of all this glorious shit coming out like it's a fucking Bloody Mary. Get the fuck out of here. That's a simple hot dog. Get out. That's it. Simple. All right? And I don't even like hot dogs, but I'm going to defend it. All right, Katie. Real quick, I do want to. I'm backing up a little bit. This is just for me and my ADD kicking in. You said your sister's older. What's the age difference?
4 years difference.
Okay, so that's a substantial amount. You talked about watching her playing video games when you were younger. What was the video game of choice for her, and what was the video game of choice that you were watching? Just to break it up a little bit.
So typically she was always really into all the Zelda, Mario. She was playing on, I don't even know, like the original where you had like the big chunky like I don't know, block type. I don't know even what that was at the time because I never really got to play it because she refused to let me play any games with her.
What did the controller look like?
Oh gosh, well it was like at one point it was like the gray one that was like, the cord, it was connected and it was like yeah,
more
like
detail here.
the cartridge that was like, and you had to like stick it in originally.
Katie, I'm trying to gauge something
know what
here
I'm
real
talking
quick,
about?
and I am really, really getting a sense. Are you even legally allowed to drink on this stream? That's what I want to know. Do I have to start checking ID here? Katie, was the controller square or was it like an M?
It was, well, obviously she played like throughout, and she still plays now, but it was originally a square, and then it
Okay.
turned into like being like an M shape eventually. So she had like
So
all the
Nintendo, it
different,
sounds like
all the
Nintendo
different,
NES and then
always
Nintendo
NES,
64.
like yeah, Nintendo 64. She
Okay.
had like GameCube, all of the
Got it.
different.
Okay,
types.
now
She
we're
had-
using
she's
names.
a
Okay,
Nintendo-
you're getting it
she's a
out there.
Nintendo, all right, she's a Nintendo person. So
There
that's
we go.
typically what she does. So she's Nintendo, but she also played WoW at some point. I think when she was in high school, she was big on the WoW for
Okay.
a long time. And so, yeah, so I was typically watching her playing like Mario or Legend of Zelda or any of those kind of games. And so
Got it.
her strategy, because she knows I had terrible attention span, was telling me I was like the bad guy. And so she'd give me like an extra controller and say like, you see like those things attacking me? That's who you're
That's
playing
you,
as.
and it
It's
wasn't
like,
even plugged in.
okay. And so I was like, got it. So I was like doing it for about 5 minutes. And then I was like, I'm done. And then I'd walk away. And she's like, every time. She's like, you do that literally to me every single time. And so I just like kept doing it because you didn't get upset, but you thought you were playing. And so win-win for me. I didn't have to stop playing.
So going back to Arabella's comment real quick, the kind you blow. Did you ever have to jumpstart the games for her, or did you ever watch her basically blow into it like a harmonica to jumpstart the
Oh
video
yeah.
game?
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
so we're talking about
absolutely.
the same area here. The healthy
Yeah.
blow, the
Yeah,
hard
because
push, and the
gotta make sure, yeah, that it was gonna work. If it wasn't working, you had to blow and like try to get it in there. Yeah, so definitely.
unreal. All right, jumping ahead,
Mhm.
we've talked about you, we've talked about the how you got into Twitch, and by when we talked about you, this is all you. We've talked about your Twitch, we've talked about your Instagram, social media, some of the headlines that we've recently seen about harassment.
Mhm.
We talked about your personal pictures. We talked about the Bulls, a little bit of Chicago. We're going to go back into it a little more. We're just over the hour mark. So I want to do two things. The
Okay.
first and foremost, if it's at an hour,
Mhm.
this is not a paid for advertisement, but one day it will be. I am going to do a shot. I'm
Okay.
going to invite you to do one with me since you were the one that
Mhm.
made me go get the shot glass originally.
All right, that's fine.
And I can
That's
only
fair.
ask. I haven't seen you get up. You haven't asked for a timeout or a break.
Mhm.
So I can only
Mhm.
imagine you're on the same White Claw.
Yes, I'm nursing this White Claw pretty intensely.
Great. So I'm 3 glasses of Clase Azul in, and about to go into what? And by the way, when I drink my Clase Azul, there's nothing in
Mm.
it. So this is just straight tequila, and now we're going
Straight.
straight whiskey. I
All
would
right.
like you to step up.
All
So we're
right.
gonna
All
do
right.
one, and this is for chat.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of pour a little light on this one. So chat, everyone, viewers, thank you so much. Arvella, thank you for the raid. Rudy, thank you for going off on the bits. Nick, Bones, Leo, everyone who is subbed. Katie, you too who is subbed. Cheers for you. Thank you so much. I do want to say totally fucking with you. I do want to say cheers, chat room. You're
Cheers.
awesome. I was kind of hoping you were gonna hang up there and try to call back in, but apparently not. How we doing over there? You good?
Good. Doing good.
I'm
Tastes
really gonna
delicious.
try. You did really well. So Mad Matty, at least I had him kind of like looking around, like, oh shit, here we go. Um, I had to breathe really quick, and I thought I was gonna breathe into the mic. So when I was gonna try to like freeze on you, I was really hoping for you to leave and then come back. Didn't work. I'm gonna get somebody. I am going to get somebody. So anybody who does watch behind the robes and you've joined, you know that I'm gonna try to get somebody. And when we get somebody, we're gonna fucking go off on them in chat. Um, all right, Katie. Let's talk
Hmm.
Katie's corner.
All right.
Katie's corner. We Mad Maddie. Mad. Just hold on. I gotta scroll. I did see Mad Maddie just throw something into the chat. One day someone's gonna restart their stream. Mad Maddie, we're gonna get somebody. Katie handled like a champ. You said nothing. Mad Maddie,
I
I
just
kind
waited.
of got. He's like, hello, you there? And his like manly, burly, he doesn't have an Ireland accent, UK accent. I'm
Mhm.
gonna get someone to leave the stream. If I get them to leave the stream, I'll be happy as a clown. I was so drunk, even though Mad Manny and I were on stream for 4 hours, and he was hammered. I was hammered. I'm not even gonna throw him under the bus. I was fucked up too. Um, fuck me. Now I'm off. Katie's corner. Let's talk
Mhm.
Katie's corner. Rudy
Yep.
asked earlier, "What's on
Mhm.
the horizon for Katie's corner? What do you got up your sleeve?"
That's a great question. I mean, I think like what I've always kind of valued and what I've always been like, at least for me, it's always been something important was always to just create really positive relationships with as many of my, community members as I can. So I've always been a big part of trying to, just talk to everyone, get to know everyone, try to get as many friends in there to try to like build a sort of community where like, you could ask anyone if they want to like hang out or if we want to all play a game one day, if we want to have like a community night and hang out and we get a lot of friends kind of come in there and do that. So that's always what I've been really more or less passionate about is just trying to find really awesome, fantastic people, and I think I've been lucky enough to have a lot of people that are just like great and are friends and people that I feel like have been here for a long time and are just wonderful people. And I just want to continue to go on that path, even if that means we gain one extra awesome person.
Hmm.
That's kind of where like I think I'm headed at this point. I'm not going for numbers. I'm not going to be trying to be partnered or do anything else in that sort of direction. I think I'm just trying to find people that I think are awesome and really like get to know people like and see how other people live and see and get to know different people in different countries and whatever we can because we're kind of lucky enough to have a lot of different friends in different places at this point.
Yes.
UK, Netherlands, Denmark, Australia, Northern Ireland. We have a lot of friends so far that are in different places and are lucky enough to become really close. And the goal is just to like continue that path of just like getting to know each other, being friends. And I think that's more valuable than I think the numbers of having 75, 100 people watching you and not really like in
For
to the
sure.
point where it gets to where you can't talk to the chat because there's too much going on. I think I've always valued just like talking to everyone as much as I can and not ignoring anyone because I think everyone's valuable and has something to say. And I just like, I just have always liked just talking to everyone, getting to know everybody.
Um, yes, I couldn't agree more. I just broke my chair.
I was like, "Hmm, what happened?"
Oh my god. Holy
You
fuck.
good?
Um, wow. I'm actually crying. I just was not expecting that. After just such a sentimental note. Wow, what a piece of shit.
Just like wrecking that awesome moment of like talking
I
about
know.
friends and family and being close to
Dude.
people, and then you're just over there wrecking your chair and falling.
Oh my god. Wow. I don't even know. I just have to acknowledge it. I can't even recover from this thing is fucking broken. Um
Do you need to get another chair?
oh my so I had it like lined up. You're going in, you got this heartfelt moment, the chat's in there, friends, family, this is it. I was gonna just kind of make a sappy comment as I was like lifting, so I have to like keep adjusting my fat ass in this thing, and I just went over the side.
Ooh, and Mad Maddie got a good clip of that too. That's gonna be great.
Oh my god. Can I play that?
I know. I kind of want to watch it now.
I just
Because
like,
it's delayed when
I
I'm
just
watching it on
always
your
like
stream,
just
obviously.
talking
So
to
when
everyone, getting
when
to
it
know
happened, I was
everybody.
like, "Are you messing with me again, or are we good?"
Dude, wow. That is absolutely great.
That's
I just
fantastic.
I just
That is
have always
really,
liked to talk
really
to everyone, getting to know
fantastic.
everybody.
That's a great
Oh my
one.
gosh.
Yeah, that's what you post on TikTok, and that's where you get people asking to wear robes and jackets and that sort of thing. That's it. That's the
If I
moment right
wasn't
there.
sweating already, here I am now, sweating my absolute ass off. Pen, yes, I did break my chair. I don't know if you guys can hear. Ready? You hear that? That's my
Mhm.
arm. Like this thing is like as
It's
loose as it
fucked.
gets. Like it is like hanging on, not even by a screw, by whatever like plastic piece of shit it, dude. You're gonna be TikTok rich. I don't know. Anyways, God, I'm so thrown off. I can't say I've never had anything like. I've never had it. This is only episode 4, so I can't say like, oh, I got hundreds of them. Jesus. Um, I'm gonna do a shot. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do a shot.
I was kind of hoping you want to do another one. That
Oh
sounds
my
great to me.
god. New donation goal, replacement chair. I'm actually gonna send this to Secret Labs. I'm gonna send this to
Yeah,
Secret Labs and be
do
like,
it.
help me. Oh my gosh.
I love
Chat,
it.
thank
That's
you for
great.
bringing Mad Maddie, what a fucking clip. Thank you. Needs to be a meme. What did I do that at? I gotta go. I don't know. I'm so discombobulated now. Chat,
That
I'm
was
sorry.
that was actually really fantastic.
I am sorry. This piece of shit chair, man.
Oh my god.
Cheers
So
to you
good.
guys.
Cheers.
All right. Um, Riicky, don't fall for the Katie shot challenge. Actually, I do want shot challenge. Let's bring that up real quick. So, behind the rope cheers. All right, so we got a cheers from Sick and Twisted. I got Clase Azul. I got a little bit left, but it's still enough for a cheers. She is nursing a warm White Claw.
I'm nursing the shit out of this. I have a little bit more left, and I'm gonna finish it real soon here, especially with shots now.
Go grab another one. Cheers.
All right. Cheers. Yeah, Penn will tell you we did a community night where we did a drinking community night, and I think I killed Penn actually taking too many shots, and it was great. I had a lot of fun, but Penn, his liver was not too happy with him.
Go grab another drink. I want to hear about this. I actually want to. Klepto, what's up? Clap, what's up, buddy? How we doing? I'm gonna switch camera views real quick here. Everybody, I am so thrown off about what just happened to my chair. I'm sorry. This is, I'm sitting here, Mad Maddie, you know best. I got my email open. I kind of have the outline, and I am just so thrown off. But I want to do, going back to the shot thing, I do want to do another stream where I try to drink the chat room under the table again. I did one a while back, and it's actually kind of like my introduction to the Just Chatting round before Behind the Robes. Maybe 1 week after Behind the Robes. Nonetheless, very early. Clap! You don't clap. First off, don't just come into my stream just dropping cash like that, like an absolute boss. It's not needed. I appreciate you. Please. This is a Katie Cat moment. Thank you. So I'm not playing video games. I'm doing my podcast version, episode 4, Behind the Robes with Katie Cat. We're both from Chicago. It's been it's the first $10 upwards towards a new chair. I can't. I'm actually gonna clip that. I'm gonna edit this thing, and I'm actually gonna put I'm gonna break the chair, and I'm gonna put the $10 donation right after. I'm gonna send it to Streamlabs. And be like, I got $10 covered. Give me the rest, Streamlabs. Katie Cat's back. She's got her White Claw beer 312. All right, local 312 is one of our area codes, codes on the phone number. But I do want to do another. I was just telling him I do want to do another stream. You were actually part of it. That actually tapped me into the Just Chatting realm when I attempted to drink the chat room under the table. You were one of my favorites who hit me up, and you slammed a glass of wine. It's a long-winded story just to get back to how well of a professional drinker you are. You slammed a glass of wine, simply put.
Yeah, I was gonna do a half a glass, and then I over poured and just did a full glass, and it was, it's not my favorite. I don't think I've ever slammed wine. I don't think I'll want to do that again, to be honest. But I mean, I'm not gonna not drink if someone wants to drink and kind of hang out. Like I was like, sure, I'll come on. It's whatever time at night, 10:30 at night, whatever. I'll come on right now, really quick, and have a drink with you.
I mean, it was, and the best part was you prefaced, "Oh, I'm not a really good chugger," and then you had a glass of wine and you just pounded this thing. Nick, I saw your comment. Thank you for gifting another sub for the chair cause. It will all go to be honest, I don't even want Streamlabs. What do you have? What's your fancy chair?
My chair? This is my chair I got when I first started streaming. I got on Amazon, and I was like, it's cute, and
does yours make noise and wiggle and shit? Because it kind of looks like
it's solid. It's good for me. But here's my issue. Any chair that I get, because I'm short, I'm 5'2". Any chair that I sit in that is a streaming chair, even if it's like I set the lowest setting you can possibly be, my legs will dangle. So I sit like crisscross applesauce the entire time, and it literally is like the worst thing ever. Is like my legs dangling and then falling asleep. So I have to sit like cross legged, because otherwise it's just gonna be so uncomfortable for me. But this has seen a lot of stream time, so it's holding out for me.
Pence being an asshole, Katie grew. I was gonna say fuck Streamlabs. I'm actually gonna go to. I saw that Herman Miller. I think I said that right. Herman Miller chair that's like collabed with Logitech. I'm like smacking the microphone with my bottle of booze here. Sorry. I'm gonna send that to him. I'm gonna clip like everybody donating, giving me subs and a hype, and be like, dude, I got the rest covered. Just give me the fucking chair. I'm still really thrown off by that.
That was, that was a fantastic clip, though. I think that's gonna be It's gonna be a great one to have. And then you'll do those things where you can go back and do after your first year of full streaming, you can go back in and pull one of those as your clips to kind of show them like, let's go through my year. Oh, remember when I broke my chair? And it'll be great. It'll be great fun for everyone to enjoy. So
It's actually, let's talk timeline real quick. So you've been doing this. What's your 2-year mark?
2-year mark is October. So I believe it's the end of October, November is kind of when I originally started. So 2019 is when I started streaming. Didn't take it seriously probably until, and by seriously I mean like actually streaming on a schedule and trying to start promoting probably in 2020 of like May-ish.
Okay.
June is kind of when I started making social media and when I started actually like having more of a schedule. October 19th, Rudy's saying, okay, so that's when I
Rudy,
originally
come on, bro.
started. And then kind of from there,
Rudy's
started
got this
to
day
have a
like
little more.
circled. He is ready to fucking turn up for
He's
the
ready
2-year
for
anniversary.
2 year because I think my last year for my 1 year because it's October I think I did an art stream and they all know that I'm not an artist so it was kind of like more of a funny where I painted like pumpkins and let me tell you I did not realize what a fucking chore painting pumpkins are and how long it takes until you try to paint even like small ass pumpkins. I try to paint these things and it took me so long. I was sweating by the end. I had this whole big setup trying to paint these pumpkins and I was like, I am never doing this one again. We're gonna do something else. So I think for this 2-year mark, we're gonna just go through. Let's go through some old clips and let's talk about some great 2 years that we've had because doing any sort of artistic thing is not my forte and was such a setup that it was like almost impossible for me to clean up afterwards. I was like, I'm so tired, I can't do this.
No, it's actually something that I absolutely respect, and one of the things that I looking back, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about all this. Maybe it's like the you being in education, so you just have to be creative to keep attention span. Real quick, what grades you? What's your range that you teach?
So I can teach K through 8th, but I've
Okay.
always been a 6th grade teacher. So
A what?
11,
I'm
12
sorry?
year olds. A 6th grade, so
Sixth grade?
11, 12-year olds.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the first like real streams that I was super active with you in was you had a fucking board behind you of flowers. And anybody who did bits and donated got a flower. So I went ham on the fucking bits. I was like, I want fucking Riicky flowers. And then I asked you, I was like, make a fuck shake and Jake flower, and I'll give you 1,000 bits. Holy cow. And I would remember thinking like, dude, this chick has to be in like some kind of education or like learning development because making all those flowers had to have been time consuming. Now you're talking about fucking painting? Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, let me tell
Nope.
like and Rudy I see is saying ask me about my canvases. So I've done a lot like I really love everyone that comes into my community and is a part of it. So like I as much as I try to, and I don't know if I do this well enough and I'd like to do I always think I can do more, but I always try to do something where I can support other people or just like thank them in some way, which was as simple as me making flowers and be like, thank you, you're awesome. Like, you're so fantastic. I really appreciate you. And having your name up for that. I did something for the holidays as well, where I did that. But then I did for Christmas or for like the holidays, I think I did where I had these mini canvases and I've told you, I'm not a painter, but I made mini canvases for anyone who I think donated a certain amount or gifted subs a certain amount. I forget the amount at this point, what it was, but I painted whatever they picked on a website that was like a how to paint kind of thing, like really easy, kind of like one of those wine and painting things, those really easy ones. So I said, pick what you want and I will paint it on stream for you for like a 12-hour stream. So I did like a 12-hour stream where I was doing all these different things. I had like a Santa like onesie on and it was a whole thing. I was sweating balls. It was like fucking hot. And I was like painting these fucking things. And I was like dishing these out. So I made them all. I labeled who they were for and I mailed them out to everybody. And so anyone that asked for and wanted a canvas for the holidays, I sent those out and I said, please let me know when you get it so I know that you got it. If you didn't get it, I will send you a second one. Because and I wrote like a little note on the back, like, thank you so much for being around for this long. Remember this. And like trying to have like really specific things that I wrote in different people's on the back of their canvases of just thanking them. Because I think like, I love and appreciate everyone and I want them to know that. And it seems super like teacherly or whatever you want to call it. but I was just like, I want to do something that's fun and it was something that I think is awesome for people. And so that's something that I did. I still have mini canvases now. I went to like Hobby Lobby and got like a bunch for like 30 canvas, like mini canvases for whatever amount it was at the time. I was like, no one's going to want a canvas. And then it turned into like, I probably mailed out.
Arabella says she
like,
still has hers next to her streaming desk.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, I think I probably ended up making like 12 or 13 canvases at the end. And those took me so long. And I was like painting all of these different ones and like saying like, hey, look at what it looks like now and putting off to the side, letting it dry, going to the next one. Hey, look what it looks like and having all of them out by the end. And this is a 12-hour stream where I was doing that. I was making some weird like tree thing on the back and I had like little like ornaments for people's names. I was doing lots of creative stuff that day. I don't know what I thought that was going to what
this
I was
is
going to accomplish
lips.
in that.
I'm showing it on my phone right now. That's lips. I mean,
Yeah.
look, it's better than anything. So real quick, if I'm looking at this now, so I got ornaments. I see a blue turd in the middle, and then is that like supposed to be a habanero on the other side? What are you hanging from your Christmas trees? Please, a lime?
Okay. So let me say, I am not an artist. I have never claimed to be an artist, and this was lip was probably one of the last ones I painted. And so, you know,
Spicy pent and blue, Rudy.
and it was, I know it was yikes now, and I was like, I'm so sorry that all of these are going to be horrible and all of you are going to hate them, but I love knowing that a lot of you still kept them because I wrote like a really nice note on the back, like, I'm so excited that you're a part of this. And I think even Arvel was really still new at that point. And I was like, I'm so excited to get to know you more. We're going to play lots of games. It's so fantastic. Even like Lip was fairly new at that point. Rudy had been around for so long that I wrote a really nice thing about thanking him for being around for all this time, you know. But and I mailed them all out, and I'm pretty sure the lady when I went to mail them out at the post office probably thought it was crazy because I'm signing them off as Katie Cat and like all this, and she's looking at me like, where the hell are these going? They're going here and here, like they're going all over the place, like so confused as to how I knew all these different people in different states, and was like, okay, yeah, we can mail these all out. I was like, all right, like cool, like that sounds great. And so like, you know, it's the holidays, so there's lots of people in line, so everyone's seeing me sweat trying to like
Not a whole lot of kitty cats.
I know, oh my, and like getting them all in these like little mailers, and it was a whole thing. And I was like, I just hope people like appreciate it because I try to like do something to show my appreciation because I feel like I don't maybe necessarily do it enough, but
Right.
I try, you know, I try my best because people take the time out of their day to come and hang out with me in my stream. They don't have to. They come in and they sub, they come in and give bits or donate, whatever they may do, but I just want to show appreciation for them just doing whatever they can to support me because, you know, they don't have to do that. They could just do whatever else they want to do for
You're
themselves.
a lot nicer
And-
than I am. I mean, I still gotta, you know what, I should give out a Riicky fuck shirt. You want a Riicky fuck shirt? I'll send you a Riicky fuck shirt.
I would love that.
Would you rock a Riicky fuck shirt for real?
Absolutely, of course. Absolutely.
All right, I'll send you a Riicky fuck shirt. I'll send somebody else in chat a Riicky fuck shirt. All right, so we're at the 90-minute mark. We got about 30 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just talk about some fucking closing topics real quick.
All right.
You made a comment that you're just like, hey, I'm kind of Ricky Spanishing, aka Jimmy, elaborating here, but hey, I'm kind of doing this for fun. I'm not, you know, I enjoy what I do. You're 2 years in, but you said something that kind of sticks out. You don't have a scope of like, hey, I want to be partner, or hey, I want to do this. Like, you are just doing you, which is very unique to everyone else that I've had. Everyone has that partner goal. Everybody wants to chase that next level. I want to chase that next level. Where do you see your future now? And again, this is just Ricky Spanish. I probably live down the street from you in some fucking shitty ass house. Like, this is not like, hey, I got data to show this, right? Like, hey, dude, I'm just doing this on Tuesdays. It seems that with everyone going back to the workforce, oh my God, workforce, not forced, workforce, and the world is opening back up. There's less online time. So Twitch seems to be significantly down. And from what I told the Midnight Gaming guys, there was something that I did read where it was like up 66% or some shit. Do you think this is going to affect you? if and it does, let's say the numbers going down, you're gonna still continue on just what you want to do. And then the third piece of that is, and I know I shouldn't stack questions. I'm in sales. I get it. Why no partner goal?
Okay, so
And don't
I'll
answer
start
the
with
easiest.
no.
Start with
Okay.
the first. I'm not gonna let you off
Okay.
this.
First question is go back. Ask me again. Because I know the
This is
two.
why you don't stack questions in sales.
Yeah, I lost your first question. I know the second and the third, but
Got
give
it.
me the first one. Yeah.
So in the event that this does fall off, where do you see
Mhm.
yourself going?
All right, so I've always wanted to do this for fun, right? And really my goal has always been and always will be is just to like meet people, get to know people. If I have time, and I've kind of been, and I have apologized to a lot of people that I've been very busy not being able to game and play with friends as much as I've liked to. I've always been trying to find like a place where, and I feel like I hope, at least I don't know for sure, but I hope a lot of people feel like, at least in my community, that you have a safe place, right? A safe place to
Mm-hmm.
be yourself, a safe place to just talk to people, meet people. And it could be even just like when we have these once a month like meetups and talks in Discord, which I think a lot of people have told me how much they look forward to those.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of what I was looking for, is creating like a safe place for people that want to be who they are regardless of anything about them. And if this falls off and it doesn't work out necessarily, I will still keep my Discord. I'll still keep in contact with everyone that has been a part of this, whatever that may be, and still continue to do what we've always done, which is, community nights, hang out, try to play games when we all have time, and, still stay in contact with everyone, because I think I've made a lot of fantastic friends here, and I don't want to lose that, regardless of how Twitch goes and where the direction is headed at this point. I've always just wanted to meet people that like kind of get me, I think, and I feel like a lot of people feel the same way, where you go online and you meet people who really kind of get you in some ways, people that like similar things to you, people that have similar interests, and I think that's really the hope in the end, is to find anyone out there that, like, if you haven't found it yet, to find people that just kind of understand you in some ways. And so that's kind of what we do. It's a cult, and we are abused.
I was just reading
Rudy
that.
always, Rudy and Taco, and a lot of people like to call
Katie likes to hear me scream.
Katie's Corner a cult. They love to call it a cult. We're not a cult. We're not a cult.
I would
But
beg to differ. You guys seem pretty cultish.
yeah. So I mean, I've always wanted to do this for fun. I did have at one point when I was really deep into my social media, and I think that kind of led to me feeling very overwhelmed at some points, where I thought like I would love to be partnered. And I think that's a great goal, but I think, at least for me, at where I'm at in my life right now, it's unrealistic for me to be able to get to that point. It could be at some point again possible, but I think with the numbers, and I think with like my availability of time and effort I'm able to put into it, I don't see it as something as possible. I'd love to get there. That'd be awesome. But I think, like what I said like earlier, is that I'm just looking for people that are great. And I think that I found a lot of awesome friends that I've learned a lot from. We're able to talk, we're able to, just have conversations and just like meet different people. And I think that's really valuable in a lot of ways. Um, Being partner would be sweet. It'd be really awesome, but I don't know. There's just something you have to put an effort into, and I don't know if I have as much time as I would like to put into that. If I do it again at some point, I definitely would love to try to go for that again. But without the social media, I think it's less possible right now.
So we talked about in the very beginning of the origin of Katie Cat.
Mhm.
When you to go a little more into that back question, full circle here, we're bringing a full circle. Why did you start streaming? If you was it more the social aspect? Was it more the, hey, I can make a quick buck? Was it, hey, I want to meet people?
Mhm.
What was intriguing?
I think it was really interesting that I could meet so many different people. I'm very talkative. I have two sides to me, where I love to be alone and I love my own time and I love just like quiet time doing whatever it may be, but I also love to talk. And so I think that aspect was super interesting to me. I'm the teacher for a reason, right? I talk all day, I'm used to it. And being able to meet so many different people. And originally when I started, I was meeting people from all these different countries, and they're still kind of a part of my community right now. And I think it was so interesting to me. And I always will, if someone new comes in or even if someone just mentions something that I'm like, wait, hold on. And I will literally pause everything. Like, I have a lot of questions, and I think a lot of my community is used to me saying, like, I have some questions really quick. I'm so sorry. I don't want to like intrude, but I want to know, like, tell me a little bit more about this. What are you talking about? You're doing this, you're doing, like, talk to me, like, what's going on? Like, and I think I've always really been interested in a lot of different people and just seeing like what everyone's doing. Like I ask questions all the time, like, hey, I just want to know this. This is really interesting to me. Like, tell me more about this in your life. And I think it's just a great place to meet people. But I don't know if maybe it's just like the effort that I'm putting in right now at this point, but I don't know if that partnered is possible for me. It could be. Maybe I possibly have to
Partner's hard.
do something. Yeah, partnered is very
Partner's hard.
difficult.
And it's discretionary. Not a lot of people know that. Sweet, you hit the 3 buckets, but it's pretty discretionary. Rudy pulls out a question real quick. Was Twitch your first platform?
Yes. So Twitch is my first platform, and I made a Twitch account, and instantly, as soon as I had made that account, started streaming. I didn't take any time to go into really like viewing anything, any browsing, watching anyone else stream. I just started and hoped that like maybe me being me is enough. And clearly it has been because I have a lot of awesome people that are here still and kind of hanging out with me.
Katie,
But
you have over the last time I checked, and I was just recently on your page. Don't you have like 3,400 followers? Maybe 4,000?
yeah, I
Oh,
think
let me
yeah,
do
I think
this and drop that in there.
yeah, I think I'm like 3,004 something.
Yeah, so
Oh,
your
Rudy's like 30
front page
3.5.
says 3.4.
3.4. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean I have a huge following, I
I don't
think.
have 3.4.
I think the difficulty is the time difference because I've streamed at so many different times. I have not been consistent, which is the issue.
Uh-huh. Well, you
And
just
so
recently changed your schedule too.
I did, but I have changed my, and Rudy will attest to this. I've changed my schedule many times. So
You're one
I
of
originally,
those.
yeah, I'm one of those. So I originally started streaming for 4 days a week. It got a little hectic with life, and it was a little difficult for me to do that. So I think I went down to 3 days a week, and I had, and then I changed a day recently, and then my times have changed again. And so it's been very difficult to maintain that when you don't keep a consistent schedule. And like I do family trips, I do lots of different things. So a lot of the time, like I have to cancel streams, and so I think because of those factors, sometimes that adds the difficulty of like getting to that partnered place where I don't have all my time and effort put into Twitch just because of my real life does not allow that, which is fine because I have lovely, awesome people in my life and it would never take away from anyone in my life either. But it's like a balancing act where it's very difficult for me because I have a lot kind of going on. I think even like a lot of people will attest to this where they'll ask me, hey, you want to play a game? Hey, you want to do this? I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, I can't right now, And so like the time that I am able to put aside to like play with friends or do other things, I really do try, but I have a really hard time balancing life sometimes with those different pieces.
So I had to cancel my life because your schedule changes. I'm going to throw out a scenario to you.
Okay.
I'm assuming you have a best friend, maybe a couple of best friends. You look like you're one of those brunch chicks in Chicago. Are you a big brunch chick?
I am. I love
Zella's?
a good brunch place. And, yeah, and I love a good bloody,
Okay.
So, and yeah, that's really funny because I talk a lot about
Ladies at
like
lunch.
and I talk a lot about like my girlfriends and my sister and my family. Like I do a lot with my family and I do a lot with like my girlfriends. Like we do stuff
Okay.
like all the time. And so
Brunch
um
slaps. Get out of here. Brunch
brunch
slaps.
slaps. It does slap,
Does it
Arvel. I know. And Arvel and I are gonna get brunch someday. We're gonna take shots and she's gonna be
Can I
great.
come?
She's never
I
taken,
just
she's
smacked
never
my
taken,
mic. Sorry. Can I
she's
come
never
to
taken
brunch?
yes. Ricky, she has never taken a shot. So she's gonna take her first shot with me. I'm very excited about it. I'm just letting you know.
Okay, first off, Nick, okay, French toast, waffles, or pancakes. I am gonna if it depends on the fucking mood, Nick, but this is a very serious question here. I am going French toast. If I am going heavy drinking, I am going French toast with a fucking glass of Clase Azul. Katie, go.
All right. So if I'm doing like we call it a boozy brunch, where like I'll go with some of my girlfriends.
I
we'll
don't
do a
think you have to
boozy
say
brunch.
boozy brunch. We know what brunch is.
Okay,
Like, come
okay.
on.
But some people like brunch without drinking, and I don't know about you, but I'm the type of person who will have like multiple drinks. So it'll be like I'll have a bloody and I'll have my beer, but then I'll also have like something else. So I'm like doing like multiple drinks at the same time. So
So you're
I
just a little
mean,
more aggressive than everybody else. And that's
I'm a little
fine.
more I'm a little more aggressive as a drinker sometimes. So I would agree with you with doing a great French toast, but I typically do order biscuits and gravy. Most places that I go, if I know it's a good place that has biscuits and gravy, I will go for that because it's pretty heavy and I can drink for a decent amount of time.
Dude, I'm just going to go ahead and say this, Katie. You had me at the multiple drinks. I got my bloody, I got my beer, I got my drink, I got this, I got that. You lost me when you said biscuit and gravy. And I am not saying this in any negative connotation, but I'm saying this in a negative connotation. If I look over to my left or my right and I see my homie or I see my female homie eating biscuits and gravy, the first thing I'm going to say is, what the actual fuck are you doing? Send
my
that
God.
slop back. Finish your fucking drinks and put some carbs straight into your stomach the way it should go down. That's with syrup. That's with syrup or in a breakfast burrito. Maybe a French fry.
And I love a fantastic French toast. I'll leave it at that. How about?
You can't go, I like biscuits and gravy, but I do like a good French toast. You're not redeeming yourself, okay? What?
I know.
We're from the same city. Where do you go for biscuits and gravy? Please enlighten me. And don't say Denny's.
No. No Denny's. No. So in Rosemont.
Okay, that's
know.
right down the street from me. That's right down the street from me. Yes.
Okay, it's a little far. It's a little further for me, but so they have. Oh gosh, what is the place that we always go? It's not Joe's.
She's gonna say Denny's.
No. Let me tell you. And now I gotta look it up because it's gonna bother me.
Nick, I do want that fantastic French toast recipe while she's looking up her great biscuits and gravy.
It's really good, and so this is. Oh no, where are you? Oh my gosh, it's gonna kill me. And it's so funny because I go there with like one of my girlfriends a lot because it's closer to where she lives. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, Bub City. Bub City has a fantastic.
Oh my God, Katie, that's in Rosemont.
Yeah, that's
And there's one downtown.
I know, but it's closer to a few of my friends that live in closer to that area. So I'll drive a little further just to go hang out with them and go to a good Bub City. All right, but
You don't
they have
go
a
to
good.
Bub City for fucking biscuits and gravy.
But it's good there. It is good there.
Just done. I'm done. Nope. Come on.
Cancel the stream. We're done. We're over. Oh yeah, International House of Pancakes. Yeah.
I think I'm a little harder on you because I know what's out here.
There are great places. There are way more
Rudy,
fantastic
hold on.
places.
No. You're done. If I hit a mute button, it would have been hit a long time ago. Rudy, chat, everyone, Bub City. Bub City is a country bar out here. There's one in the city and one out in the suburbs right by me. It's known for being like a small venue, American bar, small, but it's got like when I say small, I mean like it probably fits an extra 100 to 200 people for country concerts. I saw, Jesus, I can't even speak. I saw Cole Swindell. Who else did we see? We've seen a couple like up and coming names. Cole Swindell is like the biggest name that I've seen, but anybody who knows the country scene, Cole Swindell is a pretty big artist. Came under Luke Bryan. So the fact that he's playing like this is kind of like a thing to do. I'm blanking on names of who's played there before, but there's big names that have gone through Bub City because it's kind of like a tradition. No different than Joe's on Weeds. I don't know if you're familiar with Joe's on Weeds.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, guys, folks, Rudy, you do not go because they're like, oh, I need some biscuits and gravy. Like, you're going to Bub City for two reasons: to get fucked up or for music. Even the food, like, the food isn't that great. Like, it's American barbecue style. Yeah. So that just basically it's like, that's the easiest cop out of saying, like, hey, our food sucks ass, but hey, we got a lot of it. It's not that great.
It's not that great. No. I didn't say it was the best that you can get. The best you can get biscuits and gravy.
Does Bub City have a complimentary bowling alley? Honestly, if they're serving biscuits and gravy, there might be a complimentary bowling alley that I don't know about.
I mean, there might be. But I didn't say that they're best, but I do love to drink at Bub City. I'm not going to lie to you, because and I love a good country bar. So I like to go to listen to some good country and to drink.
Are you a big country fan?
I am a big country fan.
We just bought tickets to Luke Combs at the United Center.
Yes, I just went to a Windy City Smokeout a couple weekends ago, and that was really fantastic.
We went last year, but not this year.
Darius Rucker was so good.
He was there this year?
Yeah.
Oh, we went last year. We've gone the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. We didn't go. I mean, a kid changes everything. We literally have time. Jess and I are big country concert rats. We love doing country concerts. But we didn't do Windy City this year. I was a little bummed out.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't miss much. It was jammed, because I think this is the first time everyone felt like, oh, we can finally do something fun. And I don't think they thought about how many tickets they sold, because it was insanity.
Oh, yeah.
Insanity. But I loved it. It felt normal for once, you know. And Darius Rucker is fantastic, so it was just a great time.
Okay. So we discussed the French toast, pancakes, waffles debacle. We got a little off tangent. Where's your Chicago brunch? Oh, actually, no, fuck that. I'm going back to my original question. I got so fucking sidetracked here. I'm giving you a scenario. That's what I started with. Chat, back it up. I did start with this. I'm giving you a scenario here. Because I want to get a gauge on who you are based on you talking about how often you change your stream schedule. You and your girlfriends, you're going out for biscuits and gravy, multiple drinks, and waffles, and French toast. You're going to Zella's. There's 5 of you, all right? And then your sister. Let's throw it in the mix, all right? And then you got Tom from MySpace, so you got your top 7. Ricky Spanish is 8. Are you the latest person to the table? We say we're going to be there at 10 a.m. Everyone's there between 10 and 10:15. Are you showing up at 11?
No. And it's funny because I do this on my stream, and so this is kind of like a real life thing too. So my stream starts at 7, and my stream
like my at 1 a.m.
my community knows that means I will probably start between 7:15 and 7:30. So
wait, back up. I'm sorry. What starts at 7:15?
So my stream typically starts at 7.
Yes.
But I actually get on between 7:15 and 7:30. Sometimes pretty close to 8 o'clock at night. Sometimes I am pretty late. If
so
I know I'm going
easily the 11 a.m. chick when you say brunch is at 10. So you tried diverting this just to agree with me.
I am the late person, but I make up for it by drinking a lot and then like rallying everyone to continue on and have a great time. So I think it's beneficial.
So that's why you've never been on Late Night Snack with Ricky, because you're just so fucking late. You're beyond my stream. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
And I know I'm so bad about, and I'm not like that obviously with work because I would lose my job clearly, but.
Grade school kids waiting for their teacher. You come stumbling in at fucking lunchtime. And you're not probably even really disheveled. You're probably like well put together. Like it's clear this chick wasn't out drinking the night before. She's just late.
No, I'm coming in with like an iced coffee or something. Yeah. Like super late. Like here I am, kid.
Put together. I'm doing it. I'm doing the damn thing.
Oh my god. Yeah. So I am the late person. I'm not as late though. It's funny because in my friend group, I'm not as late as some of my other friends. So I'm technically on time.
There's worse.
There are worse friends that come later than that. So if I get there like 30 minutes late, we know we're going to have a friend who's probably an hour late always. And then another friend who's maybe like on the same schedule as me or 45 minutes late.
So
So
you got 5
I
chicks. What? Give me the friend number. Give me exacts here. What are you talking about? What's the
so
normal crew?
so
If you put on
normal
the bell
crew
curve.
the normal crew is 6 of us and then one friend who lives in Ohio. So when she comes in, it's 7
Okay.
of us.
So
So the Chicago is 6 of
you got
us.
6 chicks.
Hmm.
If we're putting you on a bell curve, there's one chick who's rolling up 2 hours late, and that's not
Yeah,
you.
and it's not me. It's not me. There
So
is
the
always
the one side of the curve, the chick's on time. So
yeah.
you're gonna give
Hmm.
a head nod to
Hmm.
that chick. The
Yep.
other side, the chick's 2 hours late. You're probably slab dab in the middle from what it sounds like.
Hmm.
You're at that
Yep.
45-minute mark.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny
How
because
many of you girls
that
are wasted by the time that last chick shows up?
oh, so I have my best friend that will always drink with me no matter what. She is the
Okay.
girl who always will take shots with me. So it's for sure me and her. Depends on the day with one of my girlfriends because a few of my friends are moms, so it depends on what they gotta do for the rest of their day. If they're gonna, you know, drink a lot or if they're gonna go a little easy, but then I'll have a few other friends. So by the time that girl typically comes, if we're gonna drink and it's gonna be a drinking day, we are all pretty slammed at that point and kind of ready to continue our day. But
What's your favorite brunch spot?
gosh, I and the problem is a lot of the brunch spots that I used to go to that were smaller, kind of in like,
Oh, you're one
north
of
side
those.
area
You're
that
bougie brunch.
they've
Oh, they're smelly.
they've
They're Michelin
they've
rated.
closed. A lot of them have closed down. So
Yeah, because you
we
and your
haven't
6 late friends couldn't show up.
I know. That's the issue. So we don't have a place right now because a lot of the places we've gone to and used to go to have closed.
Okay.
So we have, which you're gonna like what I just
So you
said.
got
We go.
Denny's. They got great biscuits and gravies.
So we meet like as an in between place in between where everyone's at. So we have a
Yep.
lot of people that are really far south, and we have
Okay.
some friends that are pretty deep into the city. So we try to meet in the middle. And so like typically that's why we go to which I
Bub
already said we go to Bub
City.
City because it's in between for most of our friends, and it's not great. But there are other bars that we can walk to
Yes.
afterwards, which is why
It's
we
a
do
fancy
that. Because
little
then
area.
yeah, because then there's a little more going
Do
on
you
in
hit
the
the
different
casino
areas
over
there.
there?
I have not gone to the casino in a while, but I mean, it's not when I originally went there, it's not as large as I thought it was gonna be compared to what is that? The boat
Vegas.
one? Well, Vegas, of course. Of
It's
course.
bigger
But
than the boat.
is it? Do you think it is? I don't know if it is.
We're
It feels
talking
pretty
about a
small.
casino building versus a boat, right? Like,
Well, I know, but I feel like maybe it's because I went there originally the boat one when I was like when I first turned 21. But then when I went to Roseman, I felt like maybe it's because it's just one floor, whatever makes it feel smaller. But
I
I
could
felt like
see
it was
that.
like
I
this
could see
feels
that. It's
pretty
not massive. So
small.
anybody that's not in Chicago, we do have a casino right off one of the highways. It's not massive. It's got what it needs.
Hmm.
But I promise you, it's bigger than a boat.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's bigger than a boat, but it's definitely nowhere near like
Yeah,
Vegas,
it's
right? So,
nothing. If this thing was in Vegas, it'd be the one where that it has like penny slots throughout the entire floor, and that's it. And
yeah,
Winston soft
basically.
packs in the dollar
Basically.
machine that you pull the little plug out. Well, I hope that I someday get an invite to Bub City.
Yeah, I mean,
And I'll bring
I
Mrs.
won't.
Spanish too, because I don't want to come off as like one of those like creepers that slides into the DM asking for a jacket or a foot pic.
Like,
Like I'm married with a
hey,
kid, they're coming. All right, I'm gonna have the
right.
baby on my chest.
Yeah, we're gonna hang out, drink. It's gonna be fantastic,
I love
right?
country music. I love Bub City. I live down the street. I'm right off the Cumberland exit,
Oh yeah,
so
okay.
I'm literally right by Bub City.
Hmm.
So fuck yeah. All right, Katie. We got the Chicago piece out.
Hmm.
I'll still drink you under the table at brunch, and I probably brunch way harder than you'll ever brunch, and I have a fucking
I'm sh
kid.
I'm sure you do, but you
It's
know.
okay. I respect it, Katie. So we're coming to the close here. I we've gone over a lot of the what brought Katie Cat to the spotlight, why you're doing it, games you grew up on. I think it's all been a lot of great just to get to know you. But let me just ask you this.
Mhm.
For anybody who's in the chat, watching, anybody who's trying to learn from you, follow in your footsteps, what is something that you know now that you wish you had known when you first started, the most crucial piece of knowledge that you wish you had known when you first started this adventure?
Hmm. I think the idea of promoting yourself. And that is through multiple platforms of social media, right? Which is a huge part of how you reach so many different people. Because if you don't use social media originally, which is what I learned, is the growth is much slower and less than what you probably would like it to be if you use as opposed to using like social media, right? Which is reaching so many different people, right? Hashtagging very specific things so that you're reaching people that you want to bring into your streams and just overall kind of using that as your way to get your name out there because otherwise using one platform is very difficult to get there when there's thousands of other streamers out there, so just trying to be unique in some ways but also using that you know those different platforms to kind of get where you want to be.
Fuck yeah. So real quick, while you're talking, I threw up a picture of baby Spanish
Yes,
because lip ass. This is a very outdated picture of baby Spanish.
so
Absolutely love her.
cute.
So cute. But this is one thing that your comment of what you had mentioned that you wish you known. This is something that I feel like is very underestimated. Now again, I am not saying I am some veteran podcaster. I barely I feel I get very uncomfortable using the word podcast because again it's me.
Right.
I'm a nobody. I just like chatting on Twitch, but there's a common trend here. It's the marketing and broadcasting yourself, getting yourself out there is more important than you can possibly think. And when I started this with Shake and Jake, jumping on Twitch. I didn't know what Twitch was. I knew who's on Twitch. I knew kind of the realm of where it's at. But I agree with you. The power of marketing yourself, getting out in front of everything as far as building your brand. If you don't have a brand, you're just another person in a massive, massive pool. The barriers of entry and exit in the Twitch world or social media platform world is so easy. We all have it. You either just need a phone, a dog shit camera, and an internet connection, and literally we all have that in our pocket.
Right.
So that barriers for exit to entry is just so minimal. So how do you stand out? And you have to build that brand and get yourself out there.
Absolutely.
And you've done a fucking fantastic job of it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, trying to do it. I mean, I've just tried to always just be myself, and so I think that's, if you want to create a persona, that's awesome too. I think there's different ways to go about what you want to accomplish. I always chose to just be myself because I think it's just for my own sake easier because I'm not really good at like trying to be anything else other than who I am, and so I think it's worked out for me because there's some awesome people that have continued to be here for every stream that I've done, as exciting or not as exciting as it can be at times, but just like building what you want. I mean, I think the awareness of what you want is really super important to, kind of build what you want out of Twitch. So that's all I got.
Absolutely. Well, Katie, look, I love you. I love having you on. Thank you for doing this. I love that we share this Chicago connection. You will always have a special place in my heart just because of that soul factor alone.
Yes,
absolutely love it. I had a blast. We're at the 2-hour mark. Katie, keep doing what you're doing. I love it. And the best part of all of this, and I'm just going to say it, how it comes off, I hope it doesn't come off rude. I love that you're doing this because you're just doing you. And I don't want to say you don't have goals, or you don't have further ambition. I'm not muting that. I just love that you're doing you and you're having fun with it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. This is such a malicious. It's a very supportive network, but it's also very malicious. It's fake support. I'm gonna call it out there. It's fucking fake support. It's become it's so saturated with view for view, follow for follow that you don't know who your true friends are. You have a fantastic following. They're all in this fucking chat, or a lot of them are in this chat right now. I don't want to say all of them because I don't want to undermine everyone who couldn't make it. But you've done awesome for yourself, and I love seeing that after 2 years. You've kept up with it because I've heard it gets very challenging. You have ebbs and flows, apexes and deflation of kind of emotions. So good for you, dude. I love seeing it.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to be here, happy to talk it out, drink with you, of course, as always. Love to have some great shots and some drinks, so it's great.
Awesome. Well, look, everyone, thank you for joining. Katie Cat, do not go anywhere because I need you after this for a little bit, not too much longer, don't you worry. Everyone, that was episode 4. We had Katie Cat. Thank you so much. We have, I don't have the calendar pulled up, but episode 5 will be coming up on the first Tuesday of September. Thank you, everyone who's joined. I had an absolute blast with Katie Cat. Again, she holds a very near and dear spot in my heart because she is a Chicagoan, just like I am. And not to mention, I mean, and I'm saying this, I'm going to throw you up one more time on the screen. Not just are you lovely, you're a super genuine person. You are somebody that I started following relatively early in my Twitch career. And I kind of feel uncomfortable saying career because I'm a nobody. I'm small. I do this for fun too. But holy fuck, dude, I'm happy that I had the chance to do this with you. Love to get to know you. We're going to revisit this. I'm telling you right now, I don't have the time. I don't know the date yet, but I am going to revisit this along with everyone else I've done in my Behind the Robes. And I want to do another Let's Connect the Dots down the line at some point. So, Katie, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. There she is. Friends, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream now. Katie Cat, don't go anywhere. Everyone, I will see you next Tuesday for a late night snack with Riiicky. Have a good one.